I cannot even put into words how in love I am with that.
I'm so happy.
And it's all thanks to the most wonderful first officer in the fleet, the greatest first officer of them all, the beautiful, the magnificent, the extraordinary Raquel Briggs. Welcome, number one.
I love you, and I loved making that intro for you, and I wanted you to feel happy and inspired. And the whole time I was making it, I was just thinking about how much joy this space and being with you brings into my life. So it was absolutely my pleasure, and you have no idea how tickled pink I am that you love it this much and that everybody likes it.
You just did a wonderful job on it, and that music. Maybe I'm the only one that gets pumped up by the drive. I mean, it just really gets me. And I don't know who did it. Maybe you know, I don't know. But I will say that it feels so much like a Trek theme. It could be a Trek theme, I think, in my opinion. It could be Jerry Goldsmith type of Trek theme, in my opinion.
It's actually a new artist. I'm not familiar with him. What ended up happening is I wanted to go and find everything. Everything needed to be copyright free, and so all of the visuals came from NASA. And then as far as the music went, I just started going through. As you know, I grew up in a band, and I'm a classically trained musician. So I actually started looking through genres. And that's how I came across that artist. And when I saw that he was allowing anyone who wanted to use it, I was like, oh my goodness. So I immediately downloaded it. I listened to the whole thing the whole way through. And I thought, this guy is so talented. And this is exactly what I'm looking for. This is the authorial voice and the spirit I'm looking for. So, but I can get the name for you.
Well, again, I just to give him some kudos, but other than that,
I will definitely get that for you. Sure. I'll get it for you after the show today.
Oh, cool. Excellent. And I just, I'm looking at our great chat that is here. We got a great, big group here already.
Yay!
And, and we're going to have some fun tonight, folks, before we get started. After I do my hellos, I'll do some show notes and then we'll get on, but I'm going to say, say hello. And if I miss anyone, just let me know. No particular order, because I just kind of, I write them down as they show up because, with my garbage memory and the way this chat disappears on you from StreamYard, So anyway, let's see here. Tonight, of course, the great Lord Thoth is here. LT! Avon lives and long live the Legion. I want to thank you, Lord Thoth. Dude, you were just extraordinary. And again, a side note before I continue with my hellos. Lord Thoth, you were spectacular, and everybody on the Global Geek Gang this past Thursday afternoon was spectacular. I had the time of my life. I love my Legion of Superheroes.
Yeah.
And for the Global Geek Gang to hang out and just talk about that for, what was it, nearly 4 hours almost, 3.5 hours, whatever it was.
Oh, yeah. It was absolutely terrific. And you two are encyclopedias, and you are so inspiring and so knowledgeable. And I had such a great time with you guys that now I can actually yell back, long live the Legion.
Thank you.
And now for my cosplay, I have Dream Girl, Shadow Lass, and the Emerald Empress. I'm going to start putting that together. It's going to be a lot of work, but I think that I'm going to move all my other projects aside and start working on those three. So long live the Legion, and long live the super nerds and the super geeks, because wow, you and LT really brought it. You brought your A game and everyone just had a blast.
I just loved it. And I hope anyone out there who watched, quote unquote, or listened, or maybe listened later, or who was in the chat. And I apologize for not being able to pay attention to the chat much, because I was staying focused, but you were all fantastic. And I just cannot thank you enough for being here. I hope you had just half the fun I did, because I just really, really enjoyed myself doing that. Because again, I'm pretty easy to please. I'm getting to talk about a topic that I loved, and I'm having fun. That's all. That's what I love to do, talking about it. I know that's
And you're a
shocker for everyone.
genius at it. You are an absolute genius at it. I loved it when you and LT went back and forth, naming the character and then their real name, and then switching it the other way. So that was pretty impressive. I got to say, like your comic book cred was really high before. Now it's astronomical. I think you broke through the ceiling, and you're now in the universe in your cape. So just tremendous job from both of you.
We call it I call it the Legion name game.
That's it. Yeah, I loved that. I thought that was just great.
It was so much fun. And again, thank you all for being here tonight. Let's see. We'll continue with our hellos. Our hellos there. Apollome's Minion was here earlier, I believe, and as you know, along with
Pupper.
The pupper. Apollome, my dear, thank you for being here. We appreciate you. Let's see. Let's see. Snortopoopas Cuber.
Snortopoopas.
Welcome. Man, the great Ace Cast Iron is here, brother.
Oh, I love Ace.
It's good to see you, buddy. You're the man. I'm glad to see you, dude. I hope you got a chance. I don't know if you got a chance. He's a big Legion fan, and I would love to have had him here. Of course, he was not able to be here, but brother, I had you in mind the whole time. David mentioned you a couple times, talking Legion, bro, because he is my Legion brother in arms. There, he's a Legionnaire himself. So,
yeah.
And again, but yeah, shout out to that Global Geek Gang, by the way. Jed, Ash, Retro, Eric, Raymond, Nick, and of course Lord Thoth and Ninja popped in. Ninja Knight popped in, and I think I can't remember who else popped in with us, but.
Rockstar panel, like a rockstar panel.
It was amazing. Yeah, it was so much fun. We have the two masters of wrench here. Actually, we have four great masters of wrench here tonight. Of course, we have the extraordinary Eric K. Yo, brother.
Oh, Eric. Hi,
and
sweetheart.
The great Chris Persia as well.
Chris, I'm so happy you're here because I have an inside joke for you later on. You're going to laugh really hard when you hear this joke, or you probably already know the joke that I'm going to pull tonight. But I'm so happy that you are here.
Oh, absolutely. We love you, Chris. Good to see you there, bro. Let's see here. And of course, two wonderful wrenches and great friends. And he's a member of the Global Geek Gang himself, the great Raymond Feliciano, and better half, the wonderful Sandra.
Yeah, you guys are just wonderful people. And thank you so much for supporting us and for being here tonight. I love your company. Oh, and Raymond has a new book.
He does. Oh, let me fetch that. Sorry. I have it at the ready, but I didn't download it here. This is a link, by the way, everyone, to Raymond's his first novel, and you can find his second novel through there. That he is his new one, and I'm going to put that in there. Mm-hmm. Let's see, and then of course, while I am at it, there's someone else here who has literary works that should be that also deserve attention, and she happens to be the greatest first officer in the fleet. So links to Raymond's link, and of course links to the wonderful Raquel Briggs, your science fiction work, if I'm correct on that.
Yes. Thank you so much.
Oh,
it's so generous of you to support Raymond and I like that, to support our work. You're just outstanding, and on behalf of Raymond and myself, just thank you so much, Clobby.
Love you both. Love having you here again. And David Rayburn, my cousin, family's here. What's up, buddy? Good to see you, man. Hey, bro. Always good to see you here, man. Thank you for popping in.
Good people. The Clobbies, all of the Clobbies, the whole family of Clobbies. You guys are good people.
Let's see. Zatras is here.
Yay.
Zatras do. That's what I say, man. I've always been Babylon 5, buddy.
Yes.
We'll talk about that one of these days.
We have to do that. I'm very excited for that.
Indeedishness. Let's see here. The Great Phantom Outsider. You talk about comic book knowledge. I'm in the kindergarten compared to that, man. He is fantastic because he has a great memory too. I forget all kind of stuff, and if I get something wrong, that man's got it right there.
Packaged all in possibly one of the greatest handles on the internet today.
Oh, yeah. Phantom Outsider. Are you kidding me? That's a classic. I love that outsider.
It's a gooder. It's a gooder.
That's a great hand. Indeed, it is a gooder. And I like the way you said that. That is a great handle. The Great Phantom Outsider. Let's see here. The Canadian Spider-Man who does whatever a Canadian Spider-Man can.
Yes. Steve, I'm so happy that you're here.
All right, buddy. And speaking of Steves, and here it comes because Raquel, you're gonna have to do it. You owe them. Steve
I do.
Mitchum, the great Steve Mitchum, is here, so go for it.
Okay, so now I'm going to sing very poorly, but if you understand the reference, you know it's supposed to be poorly.
That's great.
These are the Steves I know, I know. These are the Steves I know.
Well, they love it, so there you go.
Steve Mitchum!
Yes, indeed, the great Steve Mitchum. Hey, buddy, good to see you, bro. And they call him Scuba Pete. He's the king of the Ramba Beach. Scuba Pete.
Scuba Pete!
A distinguished member of the Global Geek Gang is here, the great Ash Singh. Yo, buddy.
Yeah, hi. Sat Shri Akal. I love you. So nice to see you. I'm so happy you're here.
Good to see you, bud. Also, a member of the new member of the Global Geek Gang who did join us the other day. Please forgive me because I forget stuff, as you know. The great and also a fantastic friend of this show, and he helped us get that intro put up there because I didn't know how to exactly do it.
Yeah.
The great Mark D with a C. Hey, buddy.
Yes, we love you, Mark D with a C. Thank you so much for all you do behind the scenes for all of the streamers. Not only are you a great friend, but you have so much to add to this particular venue, this medium, and I hope that you will share your channel with everyone, and that everyone will get out there and support you as well.
Yep. I haven't seen the big Dr. H yet that I know of, and I'm watching for him. But if I miss him, let me know, Phantom Outsider. So I'm looking for him. Absolutely. And let's see, but where am I? Oh, JT Kirk, welcome, sir. It is great to see you, my
You're
friend.
Back. Great.
Great
Thank
new
you
friend
so much
of the
for
show.
coming.
Another one with great comic book knowledge. Liger fan, what is up, my friend?
Yeah.
If I'm saying that right, and I hope I am.
Yeah, I think that's from Napoleon Dynamite, right? Liger is a tiger and a lion. And I believe that when you cross a tiger with a lion, it makes it impotent, and it's a hysterical joke. So Liger, yeah, you are pronouncing it correctly.
Excellent.
Claudia.
I haven't seen that in a long time. A new pal, J-Man. And of course, J-Man has a channel as well. I've been lucky enough to enjoy some of his streams of late. He has a cool channel where he talks about fun stuff. So, J-Man, thank you for popping in there, my friend. It's good to see you, buddy. The great Your Muslim Uncle, because I always wanted a Muslim uncle, and I got one now. Hey, buddy.
Welcome. It's so good to see you.
It's good to see you, bro. Doug 35, welcome, sir.
Yeah, Doug 35, like a mule, but I have strain brain right now, and the word will not come to me. But when you make a mule, there's a specific medical term for it where it can't have any little baby donkeys. Anyway, if you think of it, let me know. Strain brain, you know what I mean?
Oh, thank you there, Liger fan, and thank you there for the accompaniment to my new friend, D. Bud Martin, another a fellow comic shop owner. Go ahead and start picking on me, Eric, but he is one, and you got to pick on both of us though. D. Bud Martin, new friend who was really extraordinarily knowledgeable and very cool in a comic book chat I was doing the other night. D. Bud, welcome, sir. It is great to see you, my friend.
No, not LT, not eunuch, because eunuch is fully castrated. What is it when you cross one animal with another animal and they don't match, and so then the animal becomes unable to procreate? I can't remember the word. Oh, I hate it when I have stream brain. Sorry to interrupt you, Clobby. Go ahead.
No problem. Phoenix Argus, welcome. And I don't know if anyone else has popped in. I think I got you all, but of course, I always try to watch and see if anyone else comes in. We will start to get rolling. I will do just a couple of quick show notes. This Monday night, the Clobberin Times, Monday night, Mark C. Comic Talk. It's comics, even though it's a cartoon. It's one of my all-time favorites, Batman, the Brave and the Bold. Ooh. I will be talking about this. I adore this cartoon. It's my happy place, like Star Trek and other things that are in my happy place. This is one of them, one of those happy places for me. I dearly love it, and I'm going to talk all about it. I don't know if that interests very many people who've, know, many have not seen it, I suppose. Many have, but there you go. I'm doing it anyway. like I always do with these topics, especially like my Monday Night Geek topics. I said I'm gonna talk about it. Maybe no one cares, but I'm gonna do it anyway. What the hell?
Yeah, and a lot of work is going into this. He's really sweating that top 25, although he doesn't sweat. You know, he perspires, but horses sweat. Clubby perspires. But yeah, he is definitely worried about these top 25 episodes. It's very hard to whittle it down.
There are episodes I love that it's killing me to leave it up, but it's going to be the big suspense. So I'll count down my top 25 favorite episodes and my top 10 teasers for those who know Brave and the Bold. It always opens with a little teaser, whereas with a sort of a little mini story. So I'll be doing that, talking about some of the obscure DC lore references, which is one of the things that really makes the show so much fun. And I'm talking about obscure characters and all kinds of other references. I love that. Some of the best moments and the favorite characters that they brought them. And I just, we'll find out Monday night how much I love this show. And you'll go, what's wrong with this guy?
Snortapoopus has a message for you.
Oh, I may have missed a C.
Live long and perspire.
That's one of my favorites. Yeah. Let's see here. I'm make sure I got it before we get going. I'm just make sure we got everybody. There we go. It's Eric K. He's gonna be mean to me. Oh no.
Oh, Steve Mitchum, I think he has a good one at 21 minutes past the hour. I know the word when two different species mate and have an unproductive offspring. That offspring is known as man of stool fan.
There you go. Love it. Oh, shit. Yeah. Well, there you go. Good one. Well, I guess everyone, we are going to get on. We're going to warp out of orbit in a second here.
Let's do it. Let's do it.
Oh, well, we've got one more friend popped in. Elagabolus. I'm going to get that right one day. But Elagabolus, by the way, it was great to see you. No notification that happened. Sorry, but it was great to see you last night at Nick's stream. Had a great time, by the way, at the great Nick Weiser stream, talking comics and stuff last night. And so I appreciate y'all. I appreciate Nick. He's a great pal. So it was good to see you there, Elagabolus. And Elagabolus, I'm working on it. Not sort of fashion. I am working on it. And so it's great to see you all here. We're going to get a move on. And so our wonderful first officer will start telling us basically what we're doing here tonight, which, if in case anyone is not familiar with it, 4 episodes. We're in season 3, so I will turn the mic over to you, my wonderful number 1. Go for it.
Well, thank you, Captain. If you're sitting at home and you're listening to this on a podcast and you have not joined us live and you don't have the visual, there is a tile, an image of the front of a book called Star Trek 365, the original series, written by Paula M. Block and Terry J. Arrowman or Erdman. I think it's Erdman. The text always throws me off. This book has been christened by DC Fontana, and we use this book as the basis for our show. We use it as a talking point, not only because it was blessed by DC Fontana, so it has lots of production notes in it, but recently, the lore and the mythos that you will see on the internet with regard to Star Trek has become less and less reliable. And so it's very important that we vet the material that we discuss here so that we're giving you facts and we can discuss the lore, but we want to make sure that we're not giving you factoids. We're not sending you off with incorrect information. So we read from Star Trek 365. And it includes a summary and some of that nice, juicy production stuff that maybe you hadn't heard of before. It can confirm or dispel rumor. And then afterwards, Clobby and I use our 45 plus years of love for Star Trek and being Trekkies, and we infill it. And so does our super ridiculously nerdy crew. Our crew is live in the chat right now. Our live chat is made up of some of the biggest nerds and the biggest geeks on the internet. So between the chat and Clobby and I and this text, we try and get at the best and juiciest parts of Star Trek to celebrate it and maybe uncover some things someone hasn't heard before. All for the love of Star Trek 66 to 05, the only Star Trek.
The only real Star Trek. Absolutely.
We don't discuss filth here.
No filth, only real Trek. Uh-oh. Actually, being bullied by some boomers again. Oh man,
Oh
we better get
no.
Jed. We'll get Jed right on that, buddy.
You know who will protect you? Gen X. Run to Gen X. We will protect you from those boomers.
Lazarus man flew with a toxic.
TMF.
Another way of saying TMF, anybody? God. Dude, classic. There you go. Oh my goodness.
Very cool.
Like
Very
it.
cool.
Oh my goodness. So, our first episode tonight, folks. Look, at least it's not going to be as bad as last week, but right now it kind of starts off that way, I guess. But no spoilery. Here we go, everyone. Tonight's episode.
Yeah.
I'm ready when you are.
Well, we're all a little sad. We love Star Trek, and we certainly love TOS, but Clobby and I always make sure that we take a very long, pregnant pause whenever we say, season 3.
Oh, boy.
Exactly. Season 3 is when some executives decided to insert themselves where they should not have inserted themselves and sort of made a bit of a mess out of season 3. It's sort of a mix of I told you so's and bad decisions that should have never have been allowed to transpire. So that said, without further ado, if you're watching this, if you're watching along with us, you might be a little bit confused right now because we're in season 3, episode 5, and everything's going to seem like it's really out of order. And the reason for that is we follow the block text, and we're also following the production code. Not only because the production code reveals behind the scenes things that can really explain the behind the scenes stories and how things were put together, what the authors and producers were thinking and directors and so on and so forth. But this is also the way it appears in the book. So if you're feeling confused later on, you'll pay attention to the prod code, the production code, rather than the streaming or the broadcasting order. So tonight we're going to first look at, is there in truth no beauty? It is season 3, episode 5. It is prod code 62. Believe it or not, folks, we have already done 62 episodes of this magnificent IP. Without further ado, I'm going to turn to the block text. Now, I read extemporaneously. I don't sit around practicing this, so don't expect perfection. We're on block or tile 287. And the reason why I say that is because if you order this book, you will quickly learn that it is like a brick or a block, and which is fitting since that's the surname of the author. But it is quite thick and very, very lean. So it's awkward, and it's not a full book. It's mostly just gorgeous pictures and then these little summaries. So please turn to 287 of the block text. The navigational capabilities of the benevolent Medusan species far outpace those of any humanoid intellect. Yet the appearance of these non-corporeal beings is so jarring to the human mind that it induces instant insanity. The Enterprise has been assigned to convey Kolos, a Medusan ambassador, back to his homeworld, along with a psychologist, Miranda Jones, a beautiful human woman who hopes to form a telepathic link with Kolos. Also along for the ride is Lawrence Marvick, a Federation engineer assigned to aid in an exchange of technical information with the Medusans, using Miranda as translator. Kolos travels in a shielded container to protect the humans around him, but Marvick, whose infatuation with Miranda has made him irrational, inadvertently looks at the ambassador during an attempt to eliminate his competition. In the grip of madness, Marvick sends the Enterprise careening across the galactic barrier, placing the crew on a course for oblivion. For much of the 2,000 years that have passed since the Reformation on planet Vulcan, the concept of IDIC, an acronym for Infinite Diversity in Infinite Combinations, has represented the Stoic race's philosophical approach to life. The visualization of the IDIC, a triangle embedded with a circle, its apex pointing to a precious stone, is, in fact, a national symbol of Vulcan. The concept of IDIC sprang from the creative mind of Gene Roddenberry, but he didn't introduce it until Star Trek production was well into its third season. By the time Is There in Truth No Beauty went before the cameras, Roddenberry had stepped back from his day-to-day duties on the series. In fact, his only contributions to this episode were the lines of dialogue that introduced the IDIC to viewers, and his behind-the-scenes suggestion to the designer William Ware Thace about the design of the IDIC pendant Spock wears in the episode. Not long after the episode aired, Lincoln Enterprises, a small direct sales operation formed by Roddenberry and a future spouse, Majel Barrett, to meet the growing demand for Star Trek merchandise, began supplying similar IDIC pendants to eager fans. Critics have suggested that the thought of the merchandise inspired development of the philosophy, but the IDIC concept is sound, profound enough to stand the test of time and become the cornerstone of the Vulcan belief in subsequent Star Trek productions. Montgomery Scott was a Scotsman, but Jimmy Doohan wasn't. The actor was actually of Irish descent and born in Vancouver, British Columbia. However, he was a superb dialectician, proficient in many accents, including British accents, European and Asian accents, and numerous vocalizations as far afield as Rastafarian. Doohan recalled that when he went to Desilu casting office, he had no idea that he would wind up playing a character with a Scottish accent. I was called one day to read for Star Trek, and because I do a lot of accents, they said, please do a lot of accents, recalled Doohan in an interview with Tom Snyder on The Tomorrow Show. I remember that interview.
Oh, yeah. I remember that.
So I read the same 5 or 6 lines in about 5 different accents. They picked the Scottish, and of course I was delighted with that. I think that the tradition of an engineer is Scotsman because all the great motor ships and steamships in the world were built on the Clyde River. Doohan was proud of the character he created, and he was fond of saying, Scotty is 99% me and 1% accent. Viewers with a good ear for voices may have noticed he did more than just the chief engineer's voice on Star Trek. He was also the series' go-to guy when the voiceover talent was needed and can be heard as Sargon in Return to Tomorrow, the M5 computer in The Ultimate Computer, Trelane's father in The Squire of Gothos, and the Oracle in For the World is Hollow and I Have Touched the Sky. As a practical linguist, he contributed to Mark Rand's development of both the Klingon and Vulcan languages, which were initially created for use in the Star Trek films. And that is all the block text has to say about Is There in Truth No Beauty? So I'm going to turn it over to Clobby. Clobby, what did you think of this coverage? And chat, what did you think of Block's coverage on this?
It was always interesting coverage on an episode that I'll tell you, I once reviled this as the lowest point in all of Star Trek, everyone. Now, again, but of course, a couple of the episodes we talked about last week, of course, have kind of changed that a little bit for me over the years. However, in my opinion, this is a terrible episode, everyone, because it had the story. All right, you know how I often start out with things like great ideas in this episode or a great concept for this or that. That's one of my favorite things about Star Trek. I don't like the premise of the Medusans. I don't like it that, again, they kept referring to the word ugly. They're so ugly that it drives you insane. Come on. Just say that it has some kind of, maybe if there's some sort of radiation that these beings give off that causes insanity in people or in humans and all this other kind of crap, I can buy into it a little bit more. Just that they're ugly, and of course, they're not going to ever show you that.
Yeah.
Because they can't. Now, again, we know it's based on the Medusa, and they don't even turn to stone, they just go insane.
Yeah, and what's really sad is that you're pointing that out, but we know that this isn't the first time that they have approached the idea of Medusa and then not followed through with it. So, point taken, and good point.
Well, yeah, and then they're not even consistent with that, because I understand that Spock. There's a scene in the transporter room at the very beginning of the episode where Spock beams aboard the Medusa and Miranda after Larry Marvick and everyone leave. And remember, everyone, the Medusa is in a box thingy, as you all know. If you've seen I'm sure you've seen the episode. Well, Spock takes his visor off. Supposedly this visor will help him, as we all know. That's a plot point in the episode, as everyone knows. Yet he takes it off and walks up to, and just starts talking to Miranda. So we're assuming that the box can keep everyone safe. Why do the corridors need to be clear? Everyone can say, look, he's in a box.
Yeah.
He's fine. You don't have to clear the corridors. That box, Spock doesn't need the visor unless he's looking into the damn thing. They absolutely make no sense with the whole, with the box closed. That's it. It's like a lead box with kryptonite in it.
Yeah.
So they never explain that. They never say, look, is the box so ugly it'll drive you insane too?
I actually think that it was covered much better. The Medusans were covered much better in Enterprise.
Oh yeah. Yes. Wait a minute. Which episode now? What's the name of the episode? Oh God.
I forget that episode.
Medusans were in Enterprise? Am I forgetting something? Were they really? Okay. Maybe they were.
No. I'm thinking
Enterprise?
of something else. No. Ignore me. Ignore me. I'm totally thinking of something else. Sorry. I need another cup of coffee, evidently.
You go get one. The great Pat S says here, welcome. Oh, did Rod Thunderheart pop in? Rod Thunderheart, welcome, my friend, in Project Storytime as well. Welcome, friends. So they don't do the idea is just terrible. And the idea immediately is just like, wait a minute, what? And they keep saying it's so ugly.
Mm-hmm.
And then what about all this tolerance for other life forms when McCoy and Kirk and all of them start saying things to Miranda like, I can't believe such a beautiful woman condemns herself to look of a life of looking at such ugliness or some kind of crap. Some of that dialogue is not Star Trek-ish at all.
Yeah.
Call me old-fashioned.
Yeah.
It doesn't really kind of fit. Kind of some of the point is you don't judge beings by their looks. So the very premise of a being that drives you insane by looking because of its ugly. Again, find another scientific explanation for it, or even if it's fantasy related, like it gives off some sort of radiation that causes insanity if you look at this thing or something like that, maybe.
Mm-hmm.
But I don't know. Maybe that's just me. But the episode is really poorly filmed. The script is, look, even I cringed my ass off when I watched it again, and I always have. The scene at dinner with Kirk and company and Miranda and Larry Marvick, not just because Scotty's in this kilt and we're still in the bad Scotty hairdo era.
No, that's his executive slick back hair.
Right.
They literally forced him every episode to do that.
Right. Yeah. This is the era I like to call. We're still in that era, but we'll be out of it soon. But thankfully. But it's just some of the dialogue. Kirk is like slobbering all over Miranda, and even so was McCoy. I'm like, good God, dude. I mean, man, way to be obvious, guys. Kirk, you're way smoother than that. Come on, man.
Yeah.
And they're kind of condescending to her, to be honest, some of that dialogue. And I thought, and I'm not hypersensitive about that kind of crap, and I'm not PC or any of that stuff.
No.
But some of it, I'm like, okay, guys, really? Yeah. What is she? She's a brilliant woman that, she puts up with it, but she's just like, shut up, dude. Jesus Christ, Kirk.
Yeah.
It's really out of place. It's really bad. And then we get, this stuff about we have to find some excuse to strand the ship out where we need the Medusans to navigate, because somehow navigate, that's what it's all about. Medusans becoming navigators on starships. So they end up out of the galaxy. Wait a minute. Yeah. What? Excuse me? I don't get wait a minute. It takes them 5 seconds. They hit warp 9, and now they're out of the galaxy.
Yeah.
Wow.
I also don't like the fact that it's like a betrayal of trust, the way that McCoy reveals that she's visually impaired.
Yeah, it was a
It's
little bit, wasn't it?
that was
Yeah.
conduct unbecoming McCoy as well.
Yeah, that's actually a good point. That's another point. A lot of things are out of character in this episode.
They are, yeah.
And again, I think Donna Madell, a lot of people disagree, but I think she's lovely. She was lovely in Return to Tomorrow. I mean, you might not be a big Dr. Pulaski fan. Oh my goodness, look who's here.
Who?
Oh my goodness.
Who?
The wonderful Katie Carr. Katie.
I love you. I love you. Welcome home. I love you. I love you. Welcome home. We've all missed you so much. We've all been talking about you on the show and behind the scenes. You are a part of this community. We love you. We miss you.
Katie, we love you and we miss you. And please stay in contact with you. Like you said, I would certainly understand taking a kind of break from social media. Please please contact us in some kind of way. Send us an email or do something like that so we can just see how you're doing. I cannot tell you how relieved and thrilled we are to hear from you.
Yes.
Because we've been concerned about you. We love you and you're a dear friend of the show.
Clobby and I almost sent you a snail mail letter.
Yeah, so, I mean, if we, again, we've just been asking about you. And so I cannot tell you how happy I am right now to see you pop back in, Katie. Yeah. Thank you. You really made us feel a lot better because we've been having a lot of fun with this show, but it's not the same without you because we've been having a blast the past few weeks doing this show. And we always think about you.
Yes, we do. We do.
Yeah. So, and I'm glad you're doing well. Great to see you, Katie. So that is fantastic. That's what a wonderful night that is. She has made my night there.
Oh, I am so sorry. I really missed you all much. Thank you so much. I'm off Twitter, but remain here. Yeah. And you know, Twitter is a cesspool. And I just love you very much. And I'm very sorry for what went on Twitter, the way that you were treated. But you know, this is your community. You belong here. And we really love you. And you have been missed by all of these people who transcend this internet world and have become true friends. So you belong here. And yeah, please reach out to Clobby and I so that we can at least, I can do more than mail you a letter, beautiful young woman.
Katie, we almost sent Leonard Nimoy in search of the search for Katie. Yeah, we were going to steal the Enterprise and take it to the Genesis planet. Looking for you.
Yes, and TMS says no need to apologize for doing what you need. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, when you have to step back
from the lunatics, like
hey, apology necessary.
Yeah,
absolutely. But it's great to see you again. You made my night, dear. Thank you. Yeah, so this episode, and we can get to your notes in a sec. To me, I just think this episode is absolutely terribly written. There you go. The search Star Trek. The search for Katie.
Can we put that on the marquee? That's a cute thing. I love that. Yes. Good one.
The word is no. I'm therefore going anyway. Oh my goodness. But you know what? I just think this is a terrible episode, terribly written. I don't like the idea. Never did. But that could just be me. Maybe we have some friends here who absolutely love it. We'll see. We might have some friends who love it, and that's fine too. Cynical Lindsay, I've seen you in chats before. Welcome. Good to see you at Clobbering Times.
And great acronym to introduce yourself with.
I like that. Yeah. Cynical Lindsay, welcome. Welcome very much.
Cynical Lindsay walks through the door and just drops TOS. That is how you introduce yourselves, folks.
Yes, indeed. There you go. I love it. Yeah. There you go. So yes, we're reviewing Cynical and Katie to catch up. We are on the third season now, so we're on Is There in Truth No Beauty? What do you have in way of notes for this number one?
Well, you know, we talk about pronunciation around here quite a bit. And a lot of people on the internet are very convinced of their own pronunciations. A lot of them are also quite convinced that they're anglicized and Latin versions of other languages are correct. So much so that they like to really correct others on it. And I try as much as I possibly can to educate people on that and sort of set them straight. So Christos, you're probably going to be able to chime in here. So in lore, especially on websites, they say that kolos in Greek means beauty. It does not. So if you go on Memory Alpha and all these other places and they tell you that colo, like colo, means beauty, it does not. It does not mean that, okay? It actually means bum. Butt,
Oh dear.
ass, and like ass kisser. Okay.
What the hell?
So if you actually want to know what beauty is in Greek, it's omorphi or omorphia. Okay. And oh, sorry, my dog's barking.
That's okay.
So yeah, so it's really important that you know that, because Greeks who watch this show, the entire time, all we're thinking is bum, ass, asshole, bum, butt, bum, butt. So every time you hear it, right? So anyways, kala is actually good. And so I think what happened here is that maybe they were trying to get at colossus and instead of kala, because colos, it's not good. Okay, stop that. Anyway, many times on this show, I've tried to explain to people why I find it difficult pronouncing some of these made up words, especially the way that they're spelled. So, that I just put in my notes. This is why you don't force Greek into Anglo and then into Latin and then just make stuff up. It makes you look like an ass, a colo. Let this be a lesson to everyone who corrects foreign languages to English, anglicizes them, and also to those who use user-generated content. So word to the wise, be careful of user-generated content, and do not tell any woman in Greece that she is colo. So kappa, omega, lambda, omicron, it means bum, ass. And in some contexts, asshole. Okay, so does not. You want to tell a woman she's beautiful? Say omorphi or omorphia. You don't call her bum. Do not call her bum. Don't call her an asshole either.
No.
Anyhow,
Works for me.
So in here in my notes, I say listening to everyone say asshole, butt, and bum throughout the whole episode is always pure comedy for me. I put on here on a more serious note, this was a horror episode for me as a kid. I said, this is beautiful costuming. I also wanted to let everyone know that Leonard Nimoy has a cold in this during this filming. And I said Miranda's cloak set the stage for Geordie's visor. Roddenberry's Utopia always includes this idea of hope for the visually impaired. And I also put on here, you can see the executives insisting on the presence of Chekhov, that hey, we're the monkeys that they demanded happen in season 3. So, and I think that's all I have for my notes. Don't call women.
Right. Works for me. Oh, good night, Sandra Feliciano. Sorry you're not feeling. Sorry you're tired there. But
good night, Sandra.
Sorry to see you go, but have a wonderful night. Sleep well. Yeah, you did mention something, I guess, that I didn't think about earlier. Nimoy's brief performance as the ambassador was actually pretty good to see that. That was actually a bright spot. That was pretty interesting. Mm-hmm. But the episode for me, and I guess we're ready to. What we'll do now, folks, is just to me, without going too far down into it. I really do not like this one. You're about to find out how much. So I will, as we always do, folks, ask my wonderful first officer, Raquel, for her rating of this episode. I will give mine, and then I will ask you wonderful folks in the chat to give yours. So, number 1, please give me your rating of Is There in Truth No Beauty?
Okay, so for the Shakespeare aspects of this, especially from Shakespeare the Tempest and her being named after Prospero's daughter and so on and so forth, I'm going to go easy on it. And by going easy on it, I'm going to give it a C-.
Mm-hmm. Okay. I'm not going easy on it. I give it an F. Which is above the, by the way, to my defense, above the F- that I gave last week. I gave 2 F- last week, didn't I? What was it? Oh God, what was it? Yeah, and the children shall bleed, and Spock's brain damage. I did get 2 F minus, so this is a step up. Big F for this episode. I've always hated it. I hate every single frame of it, just about. I'm sorry, but again, anyone liking it's fine. We all know that. So, please, my good friends, now give us your rating of: is there in truth no ugly beauty or whatever the hell it is, or colo or whatever the hell you want to call it. Go for it, everyone. Let's see here. Now, make sure I'm. Again, everyone knows this chat is tricky, so I'm hoping I am starting at the beginning, and it looks like it might be the first one is the Great Ace Cast Iron.
Good.
NCC 1701 Scata.
No, Scata.
Okay, well, you're gonna have to translate that for me.
Okay, that's SHIT.
Nice. There you go. That's Raquel, folks, the living universal translator.
Oh, that's a very, very, very good rating. Love it.
Yeah.
That's gorgeous. NCC 1701 Scata.
Oh, yes, it sucks. It's basically the F is forbidden. Doug 30. Let's see, J.K. Kirk. F to Spock's brain damage. Oh, well, yeah. But what about this episode? Let's see. My good cuz gives it. I give it a D plus.
D plus. So you're like the same, basically, David. You gave it about the same rating I did. So yeah, I'm right there with you, bud.
Well, Mark, do with the same. Lord Thoth has gotten the clobby. He has. Lord Thoth's rubbed off on me. Lord Thoth, you didn't give any F's, clobby. All 79 episodes were top 5ers. So, dude, don't you start up with me. Zatras, A plus. Though Zatras has been eating some strange brownies, these are smuggled to me, and that's a Babylon 5 reference. I know I do a crappy Zathras. I'm sorry, but yes, Zathras liked this episode, but Zathras like eating dome, so Zathras is probably not good one to follow. He does talk like that, folks. Just
love it.
Than I do it.
Love it.
Let's see. D. Bud Martin gives it a D plus.
Okay,
that's
a good one.
Cynical Lindsay F. But still better than the putrid stain that is Disco. Yeah, look.
Yes.
STD and P Hard and the Jar Jar Abrams filthy bad reboot crap is not even Star Trek to me. So yes, I will definitely agree. I would rather watch And the Children Shall Lead, Spock's brain damage, and this and a couple others we're going to get to soon.
Yeah.
On a loop continuously for days than watch any of that modern filth.
And you know what I always remind our listeners, Cynical Lindsay, is that like, if anything, if there is any takeaway from season 3, not only is it better than the filth of today, but it stands as a testament to the fact that executives need to stay away. The corporate idea, the executives getting together to make decisions. This should be a shining exemplification of what happens when you allow the executives to insert themselves. And so, that's the good part of it, right? We still celebrate TOS, and it's still better than pretty much anything on television, in my opinion.
Yes.
But bottom line is here the executives they had a little bit of a time, and look at to what effect. Not very good.
No, absolutely. Scuba Pete is a C for Colos. Is there no beauty in season 3? There is, I think. I think there's some beauty. In fact, we'll have some tonight, I think. Let's see here. Did you give a review yet, Lord Thoth? I'm going to make sure here. Jesus Christ. Let's see here, because it's tough to tell what a rating. I'm trying to be careful to get to all of them here. Okay. Phoenix Argus, it's an ugly episode. Yeah. It is silly and contradictive, yes. And what came before in terms of lore build up to, let's see, up. Is that minus 10? Oh, minus 10 those points. Phoenix Argus, you won't get an argument out of me, old chum. No, I'm with you there, sir.
So straight to the bin with that essay then.
Let's see. Elagabos, I didn't do my homework. Do I have to watch this episode twice as punishment? Well, we'll let you off the hook this time, buddy. Next time, man. If you don't, you'll have to watch this one and Spock's Brain 5 times.
Oh, so funny.
I'll
give it a C.
Wonderful Katie Carr gives it a C.
Yep.
Okay. Let's see here. It even it's, let's see. Okay. J.T. Kirk. Did we get that over? D. I'm sorry, D minus. This piece of Colo reminds me of the ultimate Colo Mikey Spock Drek. Or Drek anyway. Also,
but what you said is this piece of bum. Don't say that. What you say, if you want to say this piece of like poop and you want to like say it, swear it, you have to say this piece of skata. Colo is bum, but or in certain contexts, asshole. So yeah.
So Dr. Pulaski is a total DILF. I don't know what exactly. I know what MILFs are.
A doctor.
Okay.
I would like to.
Okay, I got you. You know, I've heard people down Mild Dower. You can say what you want about her on that second season of Star Trek: The Next Generation, but I thought she was beautiful back then. I even liked her on the great show called McCloud. Everyone ever see that?
I thought she was gorgeous. I thought she was beautiful. Gorgeous.
And Return to Tomorrow, and even in this one, she's lovely. So, and she's got that wonderful name, by the way, Miranda.
Yeah, it's a gorgeous name.
Snortopoopa's Cuber D. That ship certainly got fast. Yeah, it got fast since last week. Adolescents flirting. The flirting was adolescent. I was cringing my ass off at the flirting and at the dinner. The way Kirk and McCoy were talking to Miranda, it was condescending. And I'm the last one to bitch about things like that. I'm the one that goes when people usually kind of say that kind of stuff, especially giving the time period. I'm usually like, oh, come on, it was a certain time. Who cares? I'm like, Jesus Christ, some of this. What? Yeah. Anyway, just me. Anyway. Yep, Scotty Hair. Oh, we're still on that Scotty Hair thing. There you go. Brad Fisher, welcome.
Oh, Brad, welcome. I'm so happy you're here.
Yes, well, welcome, Brad Fisher. Good to see you. Rob Thunderheart is a B because of the shite that passes for ST today. We wish had Trek this bad today. Yes. Yeah, look, I don't compare them, but I hear what you're saying.
Yeah, we don't discuss the filth here.
But I do get you. Hey, Katie, nothing wrong with that, my friend. Very forgiving. We love Tio. And like, even when I bash an episode, I love it. And again, I just think it's a dumb story.
Yeah.
The great TMF. A+. Just kidding. 10 out of 10 Colos because it stunk so bad.
That's a good one, TMF. I feel bad that I'm teaching him more and more Greek curse words inadvertently. I mean, it's not like I'm doing it on purpose, but I feel as though I'm weaponizing TMF. He is the pun master. So when he can start punning in multiple languages, we should all just leave the internet and hide.
Indeed. Canadian Spider-Man who does whatever a Canadian spider can. D. I like the visors.
Yeah.
Yes. Well, yeah, I'd take one of those visors. How about Spock forgetting to put on the visor before he went back behind that? Yes. Why did they need... never mind.
That when I was a kid, I was like, Spock wouldn't do that. I totally said that out loud while watching it. Spock wouldn't do that.
No, but and the ambassador is supposed to be like super gigantically evolved and brilliant, but okay, he had never been a human. He had been in a corporeal form in a long time, so I guess you could understand that.
Yeah.
Brad Fisher. In any case, this is a solid D. There you go. I give it the worst rating so far.
Yep.
The great Pat S. Good to see you, buddy, Pat S. D. Now, Dr. R got me wanting peaches, millions of peaches, peaches for me.
Love you, Pat.
Let's see here. Make sure I've got them all before we move on, everyone. R and Raymond Feliciano. F, 0 of 5 red visors. Very poorly written, bad concept, shameless plug with idic. Yes, medallion. All these people who attack others now, when they're arguing about Star Trek and they invoke idic all the time, and yet they're pretty intolerant. I always call them idiots.
Yep.
Let's see here. All right, let's see here. Okay, Eric the Great. Eric K. I give this a D. Science is crap. They cannot find the way back. Oh, that was so stupid. What the hell? Just it was a gimmick. It was a real bad, convenient plot device. I wonder if anyone noticed when Spock and Kirk beamed them down. Kirk never put on the glasses. No, they don't. Made no sense.
Yeah, it's Eric. It's this.
And here we are with Esh. I'm always interested in. I want to see what Esh says. 1 of 3. Wow. Esh is an epic. Is an epicer. He's an epic rater.
He microblogs.
And indeed,
I love it.
We love it. We love it, brother. This episode was just C tier. First, a question. If this episode is basically sexy blind chick getting jealous because she can't see Ambassador Box Boy and makes all that can see crazy for some reason. Okay. Does this mean humans can actually see the Ambassador? No, but they go nuts if they do.
Yeah.
Secondly, as the Brit kids say, this episode was clapped. Wow. And let me find 3 before I get back to the other ones. Here's 3. I'll backtrack, everyone. 3 for Esh. The only great thing was blind chick was hot. Yeah, well, yeah, she done him. Yes, I'm with you there. But even then, she was whiny and jealous. Her characterization was really bad. Everybody was badly written, including the main characters in this episode, and that was off-putting. I do understand, however, given the blindness, but yes, she was really, for the type of character she should have been. It was really thin. Her motivation for being all jealous and possessive of this ambassador, jealous of Spock the way she was. Just didn't buy into it.
Well, what's funny is that I believe that this episode was actually written by a woman. And if you go on like the user-generated sites, they say that this was a fan submitted. But the thing is if you look the lady up, which I have done in the past, I would have to do it again. She's written for multiple shows, or she has multiple credits to her name. So I don't know why people try and make it seem like, she was just a fan at home and wrote this wonderful script and submitted it and got got it through or whatever, because first of all, it blows. And second of all, it's not really true. Like, as far as I'm concerned, if you have more than 1 credit in writing science fiction, you're not a fan. You're an author. And she was like some sort of librarian. I think she was like a librarian at Harvard. I believe. You'd have to look it up. I can't say for sure. But this isn't her last writing credit. So she can't even get off on, I'm a fan. No. It's just a stinker.
Well, they let her, whether she's a fan or not, or whether they let it happen. She didn't make this thing happen. She wrote that, but it got past a lot of people. So, welcome, Cisco Kid. I like that name. There you go. The Cisco Kid. I like it. Lord Thoth. D. Can't give a TOS episode or F. I can, but I hear you, brother. This one was one of the ones I actually don't rewatch. I had to rewatch it again because it's one I watched. One of the ones I watched the fewest, but because I just watched some of the ones I love over and over again, even lesser ones sometimes. But I actually don't rewatch. I will actually watch Spock's Brain Damage. But look, no, I'm with you, buddy. Let's see if we got any more before we move on. Doug 35 D- at worst. Yeah. I hear you. Let's see here. Cynical Lindsay says season 3 gave us Day of the Doves. Look, I like Day of the Doves. Spoiler alert! I like that episode. I'm critical of the season and joke about it a lot, but there's some that I like, and there'll be some tonight that I might surprise you about. Let's see. Let's see. Oh, yeah. I'm the same way, Doug Morton. I let Az watch STD and Batwoman for me, and I let Az and Gary take those bullets. Exactly.
Yeah, I don't give the filth any attention. I do like that Scuba Pete called this episode "Poop in a Box." It literally and figuratively, because of course, Gorlo is in the box.
Exactly.
Butts in the box.
The great Monica D with a C. Good buddy, good friend of the show. Yo, brother. B-. Really. 3 out of 5 Cyclops visors. It is sort of like Cyclops' visor. Mm-hmm. Sci-fi story with an enlightened view of beauty. not just good looks. Granted, but just think they botched it so bad. And they kept saying ugly, ugly, ugly all the time. I mean, they wouldn't have said that in Devil in the Dark.
No.
Miranda, would love that name. I've never met a girl like you before. Miranda, I'm trying to do my Adam West there.
Yep.
Is unfairly mocked for her love of Kolos, which defines the idic. Bad plot, great ideology. Well, hey, look, that's fair enough. Mark D with the C, my brother. And I shall not debate your profound wisdom at these proceedings. Let's see here. Okay, I think we've got all of our reviews there.
Okay.
Chris Percher, did you have a review? I don't know. What if you do, just throw it up there, man. I didn't see one from you. So if I missed anyone, 32 Flavors of Nick Weiser, what's up, buddy? Great Finn, a great friend of the show, and
Nick's here.
Nick's popped in, buddy.
Great.
I was
Hi,
honored to be on with you last night. Yeah, buddy. And so glad you were here with us Thursday.
Yep.
Well, I'm glad you stopped in, my friend. It's always good. The great 32 Flavors of Nick Weiser. Please, everyone, find his. There's a link in my description below. It's a great channel. If you have not already, please go subscribe to him.
He has great food reviews.
Oh, my goodness.
Food reviews are so fun.
Yes.
Jollibee, I love the Jollibee one, and I've never eaten there. And I also love the Hostess one that he did recently, Hysterical.
Nice.
Oh, and he also did this dessert one from Jollibee. It's separate. He did like some sort of I think it was a peach pie. Anyways, hysterical, totally hysterical. And what's wonderful is he has exceptional table manners. So not only does he keep his mouth closed while he's chewing, but he doesn't spit food out all over while he's talking.
Good to know.
It's actually enjoyable to watch his food reviews.
Good to know. That is good to know. Appreciate you, Nick. Dark Shadow Logan, welcome, sir. Let's see here. I think we got all of our reviews, all of our ratings. Looks like it. Did Rod Thunderheart give us one?
I don't know. Oh, I think he did.
Did you give us one, Rod? I can't. I could. Did I call it out? I can't remember.
I'm not sure. I can't remember.
I can't see it. As I've told you all before, sometimes I miss these things because they're tough for me to see this thing.
Yeah, but it's not just you. It's also the StreamYard, because I can't even see Nick on this side, and it's not the first time it's happened. There are people missing, and there are messages missing on this side from StreamYard, so it's not just you.
Well, yeah, and again, remember what happened with Google. Google was removing links from our moderators the other day.
Yeah, I know. It's crazy. Yeah, I still can't see Nick on this side.
Yeah. Well, listen, I think I'm caught up, everyone. I just had to backtrack a little bit, and I hope I haven't missed anyone. If I have, we will get you. And again, it looks like we were able to, or we are now ready to thank you for that, Raymond. Let's see. I think we're ready to move on to our next episode. What do you think?
I think so. Let's leave this. Walk away from this stinky diaper. Thank you. I would like to thank, instead of the Academy, I would like to thank all of the executives who inserted themselves into season 3. Bless you.
Oh, boy.
Bless you.
Oh, my goodness. Well, on to our next episode, everyone, which is, of course, The Empath.
The Empath. Okay.
Yeah, The Empath, everyone. Yeah.
So if you're watching this on a streaming service, it should come up as season 3, episode 12. If you're watching that on a rewatch, it is prod code 63. If you were following along in the block text, we are on 290. We're on the brick or the tile number 290. With the Minaran sun about to enter a nova phase, the Enterprise heads for the solar system to retrieve Federation researchers Link and Ozaba. But when Kirk, Spock, and McCoy arrive at the laboratory, they find it empty. A log record indicates that the scientists literally vanished into thin air. But before the trio can figure out what has happened, they are apprehended in the same way, transported to a bleak underground facility occupied only by a mute woman. a pair of highly advanced aliens, and the lifeless bodies of Link and Azaba. The aliens, who identify themselves as Vians, admit that they are conducting an experiment, one that regretfully has cost the two Federation researchers their lives. But the experiment isn't over. Now that the Enterprise crewmen have arrived, the Vians can continue their work, which may ultimately save the Mute Woman's entire species, but cost Kirk, Spock, and McCoy their lives. The word empathic was not a part of the average person's vocabulary in 1968. It was just the dawn of the touchy-feely era of the 1970s. But Jem's amazing empathic abilities clearly intrigued Gene Roddenberry, who would introduce other characters with similar abilities in both Star Trek the Motion Picture and Star Trek The Next Generation. When Scotty hears about the strange experiment that the Vians orchestrated to judge the worthiness of Jem's people for salvation, he relates the parable of the pearl of great price, or Matthew 13, verses 45 to 46. His observation feels like a non sequitur within the script, perhaps because it is one of the very few biblical references in the original series. Roddenberry felt strongly that the Star Trek universe should be a secular one, not anti-religion, but one in which individuals were free to believe in whatever faith they cared to believe without any fear of prejudice. Hence, for the most part, no individual religion was singled out for attention, except where a biblical phrase may have slipped into common usage. The Empath is an unusual episode, almost excessively violent for Star Trek, yet extremely tender in portraying the relationships among the three lead characters, Kirk, Spock, and McCoy. This episode, more than any other, serves to establish the Trinity element of Star Trek in the viewer's mind via its portrait of the three personalities that define a whole. Kirk is the soul of the Enterprise, a man who cares deeply about his mission and his crew. The ship is both an extension of himself and also the only permanent partner he can allow himself. His courage is undeniable. His passion, legendary. Without Kirk, there would be no Star Trek. He is a hero that every exciting saga requires. There isn't a man or woman aboard the Enterprise who doesn't have absolute faith in the decisions made by the brave man in the captain's chair, and they would follow him through the gates of hell. Spock is the brains of the outfit, a man whose rational way of thinking balances and tempers Kirk's decisions. As good a captain as Kirk is, he needs a man like Spock to function as a carburetor, regulating the fiery impulses that drive Kirk across the final frontier. This captain is not a by-the-book officer. He typically makes decisions based on his gut instinct, brilliant, inspired, but occasionally lacking in the kind of information that only a dispassionate and eternally inquisitive mind can provide. When they work together, there is no win scenario that these two men can't beat. Putting no right next to no win. Block. Why'd you do that? And McCoy, he is the heart of Star Trek, compassionate, emotional, unreasonable at times. He's a doctor, a great doctor, not a tactician. The heart obviously can't run a starship in a dire situation. McCoy would be a hopeless mess. But without a heart, a starship is just a piece of metal. McCoy is the man Kirk has entrusted to be his ship's heart. The captain may not turn to the doctor for advice as often as he turns to Spock, but Kirk knows that McCoy will always be there for him, ready with a warm word or a cold word to give him the insight he needs to do his job. And that is all the block text has to say about the Empath. I'm going to throw it over to you, Clobby. What did you think of this coverage? And chat, what did you think of the block coverage on this episode?
Some interesting coverage because I talked about this a lot. I agree a lot about the Trinity or the Triumvirate, however you want to put it. I mean, to me, that's the most important thing about all of Star Trek. To me, my favorite thing. Again, we've talked about this when people say, "Who's your favorite Star Trek character?" I can't, it's tough for me to say one individual. It's the Triumvirate, the Trinity of Kirk, Spock, McCoy that is so I mean, again, talked about it a lot, so it's nothing new here. It's so important and it's so great. In a sense, they're one character, but they are individuals as well. I'm not doing coming from a collectivist standpoint. I'm just talking symbolically to the series. These characters they represent just, you break off any one piece and from the series and it's not the same. And as you've talked about, as we've talked about a lot. So I do like that aspect of it. I think this episode has some interesting ideas. I don't hate it as much as our previous episode or anything like that. In fact, I think there's some interesting concepts, some good ideas, and some really good character stuff. Again, it's kind of the block text was kind of touching on there, which saves it from being, in my opinion, very bad. Because I think the execution was a little weak. All in all, though, it's not a completely useless or a story without value. It's an episode that has its moments. It's not really outrageously bad or anything like that. I do like certain parts of it. I just watched it again today. It's not one that I've watched over and over again or ever watched a lot, because again, it's just not. It's flawed Star Trek, but it's not bad Star Trek, in my opinion. As far as an episode, it's not like a super solid, entertaining one either. It has its faults, but I don't dislike it really. Maybe time has softened me on it a little bit, because I used to kind of be a little more critical of it. So I do like some of the aspects, especially toward the end, some of the good character stuff. But as far as a coherent story, there are a lot of problems as well. Some of the stuff that they really don't give you enough with the Vians to really, I don't think they do a sufficient job with the script explaining where the Vians are coming from, what they're doing. I think that needed to be fleshed out a little bit more, and probably would have helped this episode. Maybe that's just me.
I think Canadian Spider-Man just left. Canadian Spider-Man, we love you around here. Thank you so much for coming tonight. I hope we'll see you next week. And if you finish up or you're back, make sure that you come on back here. We'll be waiting for you.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
I don't know what he left to go do, but sometimes he leaves and then comes back. So we'll be here.
All right, buddy. So yes, that's kind of where I am with this episode. I can't. I mean, I guess because we're in the thick of the third season, that there are a lot of worse things in this third season than this one, in my opinion.
I think so.
So, what are your thoughts on it, or do you have some notes on this one?
I have some notes on this one. Of course, everyone, I always tell everyone, and this is usually shocking to Americans, but as a non-American, this is one of the banned episodes.
Really?
So it was banned in different parts of the world for different reasons. This was also written by a quote unquote fan, only this time it's actually a fan. So if you were to look through Star Trek, this is the actual only fan. So Laura says that 4 fans wrote scripts, but all are actually writers, save this one lady, this Joyce Muscat lady. So it's Gerald Burns and that Lisette person, but it's not really true. So if you go and you look at on their IMDb's and you sniff around, those are their authors. And they shopped their stuff around, and they have more than one writing credit. And as I said, for me, that breaks the barrier. You can't say that it's fan submitted if you're an author and you're submitting it, because then you're just an author who's submitting it.
Here come the OnlyFans jokes. We got you.
And then, so recently it was acclaimed by bloggers as an outstanding top episode, calling it binge-worthy and saying that it has a marvelous moral lesson. Laura says that Dee loved this episode so much, he continually called it his favorite.
Really?
And
wow.
Apparently he said that quite a bit at different conventions. I couldn't get him on camera saying that, and I can't get him in writing saying any of that. So, it is what it is. He did a lot of talks. So, he evidently he really liked this episode, or so
Wow.
Laura would suggest.
Wow.
The research station, obviously, everybody already knows this, is from The Naked Time. The Empath is similar to the Outer Limits Nightmare episode in 1963, and both were directed by John Erman. So
Wow.
now when we look at Joyce Muscat, we have to sort of ask ourselves, what was a line crossed there? That has happened before with copyright issues where certain people have to be paid off. So that's an interesting thing that I don't think a lot of people realize or talk about. I put in my notes, this is terrible makeup. She looks like a clown. It's awful costuming. How many bejeweled caftans are they going to, pull out? This is money-saving madness. I feel like I'm at a broke university-style production. This is some of the dumbest dialogue in all of Star
Wow.
Trek. One of the Vians or Vians says, his life doesn't matter. And then I put in my notes, what? Then why the experiment? And also testing for compassion through compassionless torture and murder?
That was
What?
weird. It is weird.
So I've never bought the premise of this. It was never in high rotation. So even though I do watch Star Trek in a linear fashion every year, this has never been in high rotation for me because I wasn't a rich kid. So I had to rely on television. And I don't know what the rules were here in Canada, but I can definitely tell you the Empath was not on high rotation. Either it was played super late at night or it wasn't played that often. But I think Canada is one of the countries who may have sort of shadow banned it or quasi shadow banned it. So I'm just not a big fan of this episode.
Yeah.
I think she looks like one of those weird porcelain dolls. It looks as though she's not fully able to open her eyes throughout the whole episode. And this whole idea of her just being in tortured silence and just wiggling around and writhing around on the floor. I don't know.
She's a mime.
She's a purple goldfish. And yeah, she does remind me of a mime.
God,
she's like one of those. There used to be a lot of jokes about it in the 70s. You know what I mean? You go away to Paris, France, and some harlequin or some mime will come up to you and you just want to hit him with a bat and walk away. Although I'm not advocating that. It's a joke. It's a joke. It's a joke. Be
We
nice
understand
to mimes. Mimes are wonderful people,
Yes.
although they're not really people. Well, they are, but sorry, I can't just seem to leave this alone. But yeah, I would rather nick my knuckles on a mandolin or on my cheese grater than watch this episode. And yet I continue to watch it because it is 66 to 05 and that makes it better than anything else in the universe.
You sound like me with this In Truth No Beauty. I love it.
It's just, you know what I mean? Like, really? I can't believe he actually says about McCoy, his life doesn't matter.
That was really stupid. And it made no sense.
Yeah, and this Joyce Muscat, what so then in 1963, The Outer Limits had Nightmare, and apparently it's identical. I haven't watched Nightmare in a long time.
Good one, but it's been a while. Yeah,
but it's been a while since I watched it, so I would have to go and rewatch it. But now I find it rather weird. Can I just use the word weird? Although that seems weak and inarticulate, that John Ehrman directed both of these episodes and it's widely considered, they're widely considered identical. And then now you have to go back to that fact that she is a quote unquote fan. So this is the only thing she ever wrote. She's not an author. So, take it for what it's worth, folks.
I love that. Welcome to the greats, Justin on the red shirt. Hey, buddy, good to see you. I'm glad. I'm honored to have you pop in, my friend. Good to see you. Yes. Like I said, I guess they're just ones I really despise a lot more than this one. But I feel you because I know how it feels to have one that just really aggravates you. I thought it was some of the ideas were valid. I don't remember that episode much of Outer Limits. I just thought it was kind of poor execution. I like some of the character moments though toward the end, Kirk's speech, stuff like that. But Yeah, Minimus is here, by the way. Welcome, Minimus. That's
Hey.
Claude Parrott, aka Claude Parrott. But yeah, it's certainly not one of the better ones. I guess it's just look, we're in the third season. I guess one that doesn't really bug me that much is going to seem a little bit better. But I can't. I'm not really. I don't feel very strongly one way or the
I
other
don't
about this one.
understand also how people have changed their opinion on this episode so much. Like
Really?
when it came out, like people complained about it. They complained about it enough to get it shadow banned, and now all of a sudden people are like, and one of the reasons why it was shadow banned is because they considered what was happening. Well, they didn't consider. It's very obvious and true that McCoy is tortured. As some sort of a test, like they're playing Texas Hold'em or something, and they're worried about dropping the river, and so that's dubious to me because why all of a sudden do the filth fans why are they enamored with the fact that they enamored with the fact that they found a torture episode? So for me it's like this whole idea that previously this was a shadow banned episode or a fully banned episode, and I believe it was banned in the UK, but maybe
Right.
Germany as well. Yeah, and I think in many places they just put it to the nighttime viewing so that children could see it. So I find it odd that there is such a huge cultural shift that we go from Harlequin mime lady who's and this is all a setup to so that we can watch somebody be tortured. Let's get this off of TV to, oh, this has some great moral lessons. No, I don't think it has any great moral lessons, and I don't want torture in my Star Trek. I think this is a rapid departure from Gene Roddenberry's vision. I don't care if the filth lovers dig that torture stuff. I'm not into the filth. I'm into TOS. So for this, for me, I'm just shocked. I just find it shocking because I've been a Star Trek fan for 45 years, and I would like to understand how this episode was so rehabilitated with the new fandom. And like I said, that connection to liking filth and torture.
I did not know that was even a thing. I never heard about that. So wow. Yeah, I mean, again, I guess there's just ones that I think are far worse. But yeah, the torture crap is stupid. And again, the ending is really stupid because you got this at the point. What were they really trying to accomplish? Because see, and here's my biggest problem with it. Obviously, all the stuff you said is right on point. We still don't know, as I said at the beginning, what the Vions were up to. What about? They keep saying that she's to save her people.
Yeah.
How? Why?
Well, because in like one sentence, he basically explains it. The fan, I think it was either a lol or a fan. I'm pretty sure it was fan, but he turns in and he quickly says that they're advanced species and they are capable of saving only one race. And so they're going to test each one of these races to see who is most fit to fall under their wing and be saved. And so that's why I also find it morally abhorrent, because of course it would be much more fair to draw lots and save one and all from every species. So in essence, what they're doing is Joyce Muscat is asking us if it's okay that through her virtue, she can ensure the death of an entire species that isn't worth it, that didn't prove their virtue. It's very un-Star Trek, and if it was taken from that Outer Limits episode, and it has the same director, and everybody says it's the same, it doesn't belong here. It doesn't work. Circle doesn't fit where a square should be, and no torture Trek.
Well, there you go. And again, I guess at some point this episode loses me to the point where I'm not paying attention toward the end, I suppose. And I just watched it a little while ago. Yeah. And I didn't care. Again, I think some are worse. Like that. Oh, is there in Truth No Beauty? But no, I'm with you, and I do understand. Now, everyone, get ready. I am going to ask our fantastic first officer Raquel to give her rating of the empath, I shall give mine, and then I will ask you wonderful folks in the chat. I've got a big, great chat here. Yours.
And why did McCoy name her Jem?
Because it was better than Hey You. I guess it's the only reason.
That was his answer.
That was anyway. That's beyond that. Spock asked why, and that's the answer he got. So I don't know.
Head desk. Yeah. This is a D.
Oh, we got a D from Raquel. Whoa,
it's a D. It is neither divine nor disgusting, but I'll tell you something. I would rather catch my fingers accidentally in my mandolin or perhaps grate the cheese and my knuckles rather than watch this episode. Gem was not a gem, says Liger Fan. Liger Fan, I love you. Thank you, man.
Coincidentally, my rating is also a D. I know it's a shocker because I've been giving a lot of these some stinker episodes. I will maintain their episodes I really aggravate me more for this one, but maybe that's the problem. Maybe this one just kind of after a while I get numb and bored, and maybe that McCoy's not the only one that was tortured here. Yeah. So I don't know, but yeah, I guess I just thought some of the character stuff I kind of liked, but it's not enough to elevate the episode, and it's just really, again, it's a squirrely script. And some of the way this thing is shot is just, I don't know.
Yeah.
So we've got a couple of D's here. Now, my good friends in the chat, please give us your I love this part. Give us your ratings of the empath.
Oh.
Okay, I think we got the first one right here.
Cisco Kid.
Yeah, I believe so. Thank you.
Cisco
Kid is a C+, no lower. Okay. Let's see here. Dark Shadow Logan is, I think Mikhail explained its fault. It is a D for me now as well.
You know what I mean, though, yeah. Dark Shadow Logan.
Oh, God, yeah.
That's why it's important to look at lore. It's important to look at our mythos and be honest with ourselves of when somebody made a poopy diaper. And Joyce Muscat allegedly took something from the Outer Limits and made a poopy diaper with the very same man who worked that same poopy diaper on another show.
Oh, wow. That third season, folks. The great Ace Gaslight. Ace Gaslight, NCC 1701 Fornicate.
He has the best rating system ever.
He does. I love it. Elagabalus, C-. It could be worse. A mute, Kalos, what the hell? A mute Kalos always has the potential to unleash the worst kind of torture, the silent but deadly kind. D. Bud Martin, C+, but only because of the troika and because of course, the worst ones around it. Yeah, and again, to me, I thought some of that stuff with the troika was okay.
Yeah.
But yes, I'm with you.
Yep.
So you mentioned I'd rather slide down a 40-foot razor blade covered with lemon juice while giving birth to a flaming porcupine than watch this episode. We didn't even give a rating. I guess we'll take that as an F. I don't know. Let's take that as an F unless he gives us some clarification on that.
So bad and awesome.
Oh, Scuba Pete. D. This episode really creeped me out as a kid with the torture.
Yeah, me too.
Not in a good way. There you go.
Yeah, I hated it too, Scuba Pete, for that same reason.
Toxic Man Flew. C+. For fan-written effort, I am surprised by Raquel's lack of empathy for the episode, but I do not mime it.
So good. Boy. That is so good.
Top of the class there, brother. D+ for Attic K. It is meh. The doctor making sure he was chosen was the only good thing showed.
Yeah.
Some of the race. Yeah, some of the stuff about when they were all willing to die, to save the others. I like that stuff too.
Yeah.
It works. So it's a character, unlike as Isn't There Truth No Beauty, the character, which was all the characterization is so terrible in that one. Yeah. In this one, the characterization of the three is right. It's just that you don't care because the violins are crappy. They're not really well written. And Gem, I mean, the mime stuff. Mime is the first thing I thought about,
Yeah.
even today when I was watching it.
And do you remember from our generation? Okay, so you're a boomer and I'm Gen X, but like, do you remember how much they used to make fun of this whole mime idea in the 70s?
Oh yeah.
Like like it's pure comedy. It's very hard to feel sorry for her. I just want to rip all the fur off of her eyes so she can open them all the way and just tell her to talk.
Oh man.
Anyway.
Minimus says that the empath, it's on the wrong path. -7. I'm not sure what that. I don't know what that rating means, but there you go. The great Rod Flunderhart C+, still having trouble with the nostalgia glass.
Oh,
That's
love it.
all right.
What a great comment. What a wonderful thing to say. I love how you always qualify your criticism that way. And I'm sure to do that as well, Rod. Clobby and I both do that all the time. Make no mistake. We just absolutely love this. Just maybe the executives, if they're still alive, they can hear us shouting over the internet. Why did you do that? Stop it.
Thoth, I'm trying to find it, man. He said his was above.
I just love Eric K. Meh.
Let's see. I'm trying to find that one, Thoth. Let's see. Thoth, I can't find it, man.
Weird.
I backtracked all the way. Unless yours was above the first one. Unless yours was above the first one that I did, brother, which was Cisco Kid. But
I don't think LT would throw it out that quickly. He knows what he's doing. But I'm telling you, man, there are so many people missing from the chat from me on this other side that I just question.
Damn, Thoth, unless you did it before I asked, buddy, I don't know, man. If you could throw it back up there, brother, I'm sorry about that, buddy. I can't find it. It's missing because I went back, unless you gave it before Cisco did, and I thought he did the first one there. So I'm sorry, my friend. If you could please throw that up there, I'm sorry about that, buddy. Because he says mine was higher up.
Yeah, it's not there, LT. I don't know what the heck.
I can't find it in the StreamYards. What the? So annoying. Sorry about that, buddy. Brad Fisher, I'll give it a C-.
Yeah.
Mark D with a C. C-. 4 out of 5. Monarch 4, as in the Sandbats of Monarch 4, that spot through that crazy mention. The Sandbats of Monarch 4 look like what, rocks or something. Lots of flaws with this episode, but like the last one, deep down a good message. See, I didn't see a good message in the last one, but I hear you, brother. Great interactions and sacrifices between Kirk and Spock. Yeah, I mean, I do, but in this one, I see that what you're talking about with the message. I just thought it was kind of poorly done, and I agree with Raquel on the not needing the torture stuff.
Yeah, it's just in order to teach a species to be ultra compassionate, torturing a whole bunch of people so that it could learn that torture is bad is perhaps not a good way of edifying a species. But I totally respect Mark D with the C.
Well,
I think you're brilliant and wonderful, and I totally respect your opinion. I just like to I just like to complain about this episode. I'm sorry, Mark.
I love it. I love to come here to complain about it. JG Kirk, C-. Saving one species that's subjectively selected sounds rather Yahtzee to me. Yeah, good point. Also, the public access channel production quality just screams scrap the episode and spend the budget elsewhere. Yeah, I gotcha. I skipped over you too, Steve Mitchum. Not on purpose, dude. I'm backtracking to find that one. Oh, I hate StreamYard. No, I didn't. I read yours, Steve. What about sliding down the 40-foot blazer blade?
Yeah, that was a good one. That was glorious.
Yeah, we did that one, buddy.
I believe that it elicited my ugly laugh. So
keep skipping over me. No, sir, we did that one, brother.
No, we love you, Steve. We would
unless you're talking unless I skip something else you're talking about. But
yeah, like maybe chocolate cake. I would take your chocolate cake, Steve Mitchum. I wouldn't take it from Maddie, but I would definitely take it from you.
Yeah, of course.
Yeah, Raymond.
D- for Raymond. I think it's either D or D-. Again, I get confused when they don't break those two off. Sorry, I'm an idiot. Gratuitous torture does not have a place in Trek. No. I am with you. Welcome, Steve Ernest. Good to see you, my friend. and we appreciate you being here. And your rating is D minus, I think.
Yep.
D is a D at least.
Yeah.
D minus. I think I'm gonna go with D minus. Jessica. Oh, now I see you. This is my least fave episode. Wow. Okay. It's so boring. If I was here last week, I would have actually defended and the children shall lead. So, would you really? Wow. My goodness.
I love Stephen Ernest.
Wow. That's a hill to die on there, brother. Steve mentioned D. This is, in my opinion, a really bad episode.
Mm-hmm.
While the message is pure, it's pure Trek. Okay. I find it to be derivative of the Cage, heavy-handed, and the actress is very interpretive, Dancy. Okay. Cage.
Not in a good way. And not in a good way.
Uh-oh. Ash has got something for us here. 1 of 6 dude. I love Ash. All right. Epic time, everyone.
Fifis. Saddle up.
Nice.
Lock and load.
I love this segment. I love the rating segment. All right. Ash Singh says, our good buddy, a member of the Global Geek Gang, and pop culture archivist, by the way, and Ash's link is in the chat below for his channel. 1 of 6. B minus. Season 3 as a whole may not be great story-wise, but the women, some men, and Kirk's ass are the gifts that keep on giving. I never thought about Kirk's ass, and I never will. Again, I hope I never do again. This episode was no exception. No. 1 or 2.
Okay.
The empath was cute, hot, and I just wanted to give her a hug. Question. Is this the first Trek episode with an empath?
I think it might be.
I think it may well be.
I think she might be the first. Because
Like
after this, Roddenberry revisited a couple of times, right? So Delton's and then Betazoid, Beta Z.
Yeah, that's right. Delton was one.
Yep.
So yes, I mean, yeah, and yeah, way before Raven from New Teen Titans there, Ash. 3, the empath stuff and how her powers work are interesting. Yeah, fair enough. And her arc from self-preservation to sacrifice, albeit forced, was lovely. Also, bone sacrifice was admirable. I can't argue with any of that. I think you're on point so far. I'll give you that. The downsides, the torture was bad, sure. The experimentation was bad. Miss Mute hit me in the feels. I'm gonna have to be hitting you for that one, using the word "in the feels." We can't say "in the feels." I should never have told him that, should I? In the feels, Gollum hit me in the feels. Gollum.
Yeah.
Moved around very animalistic, and Gollum, yeah, like Gollum, moved around very animalistic and seemed very degrading. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. And every time I saw B minus 10, what B minus 10?
Tinfoil Mario
and Luigi. Wow. I wanted to Indian bitch slap them to the next universe and just say, "Shut the F up." Wow.
I love you.
FYI, an Indian bitch slap is a slap with the closest object.
Yes.
And if there is no object, you take your shoe or sandal off and use that.
Well, not usually a shoe or a sandal unless you've made somebody really angry. It's usually a slipper, right, Ash? I also love Steve Mitchum's comment at 34 minutes past the hour. He says, "Mark D with his C, I was taught that if I can't say something nice, I must be talking about the empath."
Love it. That, ladies and gentlemen, is what you call an espic.
Yes, that is great.
Oh,
I believe you just coined a phrase.
I think from now on, I'm going to call it an espic in honor of our good buddy Ash.
Yeah.
Yeah. Like First Birds of the S breakdown. There you go. Wow, you better stretch before reading an Ash Sings review. Let's see. Pat S. I for incomplete. Honestly, never saw this one, but I will next before next semester. Okay.
Okay.
We understand. We understand. All right.
Snortopoopus. Peter Jackson is filming the movie of Ash's comments as we speak. Oh God! Oh, there's gonna be a director's cut.
Oh man!
Snortopoopus.
The wonderful Katie Carr gives us a C minus.
And no
Let's see.
comment. Katie's just done with the torture. Katie
Yes.
doesn't like it either. She doesn't like that either.
Doesn't like that torture stuff, yes. No doubt. Let's see if I can find some more reviews here before we move on, everyone. Oh, okay. Phoenix Argus with a D after realizing the eugenics in the script with the pointless torture, lack of information, it hurts the story.
Yeah.
But the high points have been overshadowed by the negatives.
Yep.
Well,
yeah, you just go back and hear what they have to say about it. But the whole rationale for why they're doing it is just, it's morally bankrupt. I don't buy that you have to torture people to figure out that torture's wrong, or that you should give your life for another person. You don't torture somebody and say, look, if you don't give your life for this person, we're going to continue to torture them to death. It's like, wow, really? And then there's like music that surrounds them afterwards, as though they are these benevolent beings. Now that
they were
we
crap.
know that McCoy will be restored and everyone will get to live or whatever. Yeah, it's a
Just Joe 47 Jobber. What's up, buddy? Good to see you. Just says, this episode is a definition of a bottle episode. Talk about saving dollars on sets.
Yeah. Oh, yeah, but that's true. I can't see that comment because stuff is missing on my side of StreamYard. But that's exactly what's going on here. This is more this executive meddling, and it looks so much like a university fine arts final grading presentation. This is exactly what it looks like in university. If you do your BFA, your MFA, or even I believe you can even do a PhD in it. But yeah, it's this. Yeah. Oh boy.
Well, there you go. We are officially in the mirror universe here because Lord Thoth likes one that we don't. B from the great Lord Thoth. LT says, McCoy, one of my fave episodes of season 3. The love these soldiers have for each other hits me deeply. Flashbacks. Their willingness to lay down their lives for each other cements them as family. That's one of 2. And then once you get past the rough storytelling, this is a story about 3 soldiers who would be willing to sacrifice everything for each other. That is the lesson. Which is what the Vians taught Jim. I can't argue with any of that because I did like some of that, the aspects of them, the camaraderie, and them being willing to sacrifice themselves. Thoth. I just didn't like the execution, but I can respect that, buddy. Mm-hmm. Absolutely. I could definitely respect it.
I mean, I can respect it because I think that if it were unfurled in a much more, like, in a stronger way, and it wasn't, and the rationale wasn't so gossamer, I think it had the potential to be something really special. But yeah, gossamer. However, I do totally respect you, LT, and I am shocked. Yeah.
Nice. Well, let's see here. Okay. Sort of Poopus. I really jumped the gun with my comment, and it would be way back. I don't know if I could get to it now. This chat disappears on that, sir. Just another red shirt. I can't score this episode. I think he meant to say I can't score this episode because I haven't seen it in 40 years. Im's here. Oh, okay. Welcome, Im. Welcome. We'll get that pronunciation down one day. Let's see. Where? Apolly's Minion says time mark 8:26. I presume that means you put something in the chat at that point, Apolly. I can't. This thing won't go back that far, my dear. I'm sorry.
Yeah, it's acting really weird.
It never does anyway. Even in normal times, it only stays on so much. Oh, okay. Chris Burton said his pulse was at 28 minutes past the hour. He's saying that now. Let's see. Oh, look how far back. I'm way back, everyone, because we're getting the ratings. This chat's moved. I'm 10 minutes back right now, everyone.
Yeah, but it's not all you.
Yeah, I mean, well, I have to halt the chat so I can catch all the ratings.
Yeah.
Yeah. Let's see. Let me try to catch up, everyone. Let's see. Sort of Poopus Burb. All right. 1 of 3. D. The story had its tender moments, but a bit forced. McCoy's makeup was fairly gruesome for 1960s television.
Yeah.
Why couldn't Vian save the populations of all of the planets? We will never know. We will never know, sir. 2 of 3. Was there zappy do machinery only good for a single shot mass transportation? Only good for a single shot mass transportation. I guess so. They didn't have a good explanation of that thing either. There was no attempt to explain this more fully. Recycled Chalosian look.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Great comment, Snortapoopus. I totally agree. These are my issues with it as well.
Let's see here. Yeah. Clobbering times. Lord Thos. Oh, it's at 8:26. Well, I can't go that far back. I'm sorry. Sorry, buddy. Thought I didn't mean to pass it up, dude. I apologize if I passed one up on you. 3 of 3. McCoy got to be the self-sacrificing hero. Catherine Hayes gave a very interesting performance. Okay.
Yes.
There you go. Yeah. Gotcha. From Startup Poopus Cuber. Thank you. Let me see here. I'm trying to catch up, everyone. Let's see here.
Zappy Doo.
Let's see. Just listen to the empath music. I got a buddy of mine who hates this episode because of that empath music, and so a true story. When I was watching it again today, I'm going, because I send him really evil messages on his text sometimes, like with a record something and send him stupid sounds.
Yeah.
I was about to record that music and send it at him. And he called me right then there out of the blue. I hadn't talked to him in weeks. I said, "Oh my God, I can't believe you're calling." So I made him listen to it, of course.
Yeah. That's George Dunning. George Dunning. We can thank George Dunning for.
Wah, 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 wah. He hates that. Let's see. All right, everyone, trying to catch up, just making sure. I think we got all of our. I'm gonna move to the front of the chat now to make sure I'm caught up, everyone. So I hope I got all the ratings. If I did not, did I get everybody? Did I get Mark with the C?
I think you did. Yes, he discussed
that's
that.
Right,
he said it was a B, didn't he?
Yeah,
it was a B, I think.
Right, you know my dumb memory.
Mm-hmm.
So
no, you don't have a bad memory. There's a lot of people here.
We got Eric. Okay, Eric, I got you. Thank you, man. Well, let's see here. I think
TMF. 2 of 345. So, starting from the opening credits, I found the font to be a bit too aggressive.
Gainfully employed. All right, look. Now they're playing games in the chat. I will destroy you all. you wiseacres. Oh my God.
Okay.
I gotta turn my phone down. All righty then, folks. We're about ready to move on to our third episode of the evening. If you all are ready to move on, and if I missed anyone, you can just throw one at me, and we'll get there because I'm now current on the chat. So, on to bigger and better things, at least in my opinion, everyone. So, are you ready? Number 1.
I am, sir.
All right, everyone. Our next episode is go for it. Number 1.
The Tholian Web, Season 3, Episode 9. For us, though, it is prod code 64. And I would like all of you to turn to your textbook, Block 293. The Enterprise landing party beams aboard the starship Defiant, which they find drifting powerless in space. Defiant's crew is dead, the apparent victims of a widespread mutiny. Before they can determine what triggered the wave of violence, the landing party discovers that the Defiant is destabilizing around them due to a spatial interface. Scotty reports that he can transport only 3 of the 4 men, so Kirk sends the others ahead with the intention of following in a few minutes. But before he can do so, the ship, along with Kirk, disappears. Now in command, Spock faces a ticking clock. The hostile Tholians have arrived, and they demand that the Enterprise leave their territory by the next period of interphase. At the same time, McCoy has determined that the bizarre region of space they're in has a dangerous effect on the human nervous system. If they don't leave soon, the entire crew will go mad, the way the Defiance crew did. But Spock, convinced that he can rescue Kirk, refuses to leave. Spock's comment about the renowned Tholian punctuality served well as an introduction to a new alien species, given the impression that the Federation already knew a lot about them. However, over the course of this one episode, neither the Federation nor the writers chose to share much of that information with the audience, who learned only that their governing body is the Tholian Assembly. Their actions show them to be very territorial, and they are, as mentioned, quite punctual. Viewers couldn't even be certain about the true physical appearance of the Tholians. Was the faceted geometric image on the view screen a Tholian head, a mask, a helmet, or an artificial projection like that of Baylock in the Corbomite maneuver? Tranya. Decades would pass before viewers learned more about this mysterious species. Though the Tholians were mentioned several times on Star Trek The Next Generation and Star Trek Deep Space Nine, it wasn't until Star Trek Enterprise in the Mirror Darkly that viewers learned that Tholians don't have much of a head at all. Instead, they are like arachnids and crustaceans. They have what appears to be a cephalothorax, with the head and thorax united as a single part. Within their nub of a noggin, a pair of deep-set, glowing eyes are the only distinguishable features. Two spindly arms and spider-like legs complete the rather disturbing package. From the information that Star Trek Enterprise presented, it appears that the image projected onto Spock's view screen is the Tholian web, and it was indeed that of Commander Loskin in the flesh. Several of Star Trek's characters have signature lines in dialogue. Spock regularly says fascinating. McCoy says, "He's dead, Jim." Uhura says, "Hailing frequencies open." And Chekhov says, "Ah!" Actually, the Navigator screams in only 5 episodes. Mirror, mirror, to be precise, is the Mirror Universe Chekhov who screams. The Deadly Years, Day of the Dove, the Tholian Web, and The Way to Eden. He'd likely have screamed in the first season, too, if he had been created back then. And rest assured, motion picture scripts of the decade, hence, would offer Chekhov plenty of additional opportunities to scream. Clearly, the writers thought it was a skill at which Chekhov, the vocalist Walter Koenig, was unrivaled. They listened to it, but they wouldn't admit that they had listened to it. And Spock outright lied about it, despite his frequent admonitions that Vulcans don't lie. Nevertheless, it's a fine final speech, and whether his best friends owned up to having heard it or not is worthy of remembrance. Bones, Spock, since you are playing this tape, we will assume that I am dead, that the tactical situation is critical, and both of you are locked in mortal combat. It means, Spock, that you have control of the ship and are probably making the most difficult decisions of your career. I can offer only one small piece of advice for whatever it's worth. Use every scrap of knowledge and logic you have to save the ship, but temper your judgment with intuitive insight. I believe you have those qualities, but if you can't find them in yourself, seek out McCoy. Ask his advice, and if you find it sound, take it. Bones, you've heard what I've just said to Spock. Help him if you can, but remember, he's the captain. His decisions must be followed without question. You might find that he is capable of human insight and human error. They are most difficult to defend, but you will find that he is deserving of the same loyalty and confidence each of you have given me. Most Star Trek episodes were set either on the ship or on a Class M planet, where spacesuits aren't required. However, the taut story for the Tholian Web suggested suits would allow crew members to survive in an environment with no breathable atmosphere. which gave William Face. It should say William Wearface. Why did she leave that out?
Wearface, yeah.
Yeah, the opportunity to design this ingenious costume for the Enterprise landing party. Made primarily from silver lame, the suit looks something like a 20th century astronaut, or perhaps a well-dressed beekeeper might feel comfortable in. This particular costume, worn by DeForest Kelley in this episode, was sold at Christie's auction house in New York during Star Trek's 40th anniversary celebrations. And that is all the block text has to say on the Tholian web. What did you think of this coverage?
Interesting. This is one of my favorite episodes of the third season, for sure.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
I actually really like this episode a lot. By the way, I have, I love the environmental suit. I have the Mego sized toy of Kirk with that, which I got a while back, which is still in pretty good shape. Well, really good shape because I got it back in the 90s or whatever. No, I like what, as I often say, when I write down like keywords and things about this episode, this is a character episode. It is a drama. It's got an intense drama in it, but this is character stuff, and this is a Spock McCoy episode. Other characters get to do other things as well. Don't get me wrong, but this one's about Spock and McCoy. This is a very little Kirk in this episode, but I really, really like it. I mean, this again because of that, not because Kirk's gone. I'm just saying because of what the interaction we get between Spock and McCoy.
Yeah.
That you were talking about in your coverage there.
Well, and we all need to remember that there was a time in season 2 when Bill was a little upset, and he did a bit of a toddler tantrum, and then he was made front and center. And in this episode, we see him taking a step back again, and that's okay.
Yep. Wow, so they're already talking about the episode. We didn't get our what? Wow, people are already downing this episode. All right, well, we didn't get any reviews at Echo Base Network. Welcome, I'm honored to see you here. Big fan of your channel and everything. And those are great guys over there, Nick and Coach. You guys, it's good to see you. Thank you. Welcome to Saturday Night Star Trek. Yes. See, I really like this episode for the characterization stuff. Mainly, It is a relatively simple idea, although it's a good one. The Tholians, again, we talk a lot about when we were on Is There in Truth No Beauty, for example, how horribly they handled the Medusans and what a dumb idea and all that kind of stuff. This is more like it in terms of aliens that are really very alien. And back then, you didn't have the kind of budget to do a lot with them. Lasky, all you get to see is this crazy prop, but it works. It's scary as hell.
And no one is called asshole in Greek.
But even better. And this, in this one, some of the great interaction, like as Kirk and Scotty almost team up against Spock. And this is one of those where Spock is doing what Kirk would be doing. He would not, he is risking the ship to save Kirk. This, beyond question, shows the dedication that Spock has for Kirk, which is one of the things I really love. Again, I get cornball about my Star Trek, as you know. The friendship stuff is what's really important to me. He did endanger the ship by leaving space, but by not leaving. Even McCoy saying you should have left. And when he says he was a hero in every sense of the word, yet his death means nothing. The one thing that would have given his death meaning was for you to save his ship, and you've screwed it all up now.
Yeah,
Spock,
you made sure we can't do that. Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah. Well, the thing is I agree with you, but it's also a testament to this friendship, the nuances of this intense friendship that McCoy has with Spock. And there are moments of tenderness and there are moments of challenge, and yet they're continually reminded of their great friendship.
Yeah, absolutely. But again, it really gets tense there. They're really not all that supportive of Spock at first. And the Kirk's last orders thing, that's to me, that's a highlight in Star Trek, the last orders speech.
Yeah,
Kirk, we all love us a Kirk speech, right?
Yeah.
That's one of my favorites, the last order speech, which of course, which you never heard. I love, and it's even funny at the end when they act like they don't. They don't see it, and again,
Yeah.
as we know, the thing with the Defiant later and on Enterprise with the Namira Darkly, the Defiant falling back in time and all that kind of stuff. References to Tholians that you mentioned in the coverage there. There was even one like on Deep Space Nine where Cisco refers to the Tholian captain owes me a favor, if you remember that one. So I'm like, so now 100 years later, Tholians and Federation people interact, even though Tholians look like they have to live in intense heat.
Yep.
So I like that, the renowned Tholian punctuality.
I love it.
I really like this episode a lot. I mean, to me, this is top quality. This one could fit in with a first or second season.
Yep.
In my opinion.
Easily.
Yeah.
Easily, seamlessly. It's just, it's top notch.
Indeed. Notes.
Yeah, I have quite a bit of notes for this one. Well, not quite a bit, but just some super nerdy stuff, some geeky stuff. So I have to complain because I love Jimmy Doohan. Scotty has his executive hair.
Yes, we're fine. Aren't we finally out of the Scotty bad hairdo phase?
No, it's still here.
It looks a little bit better to me, but go ahead.
He's getting better at doing it, but it's so bad. The first script ever written by Judy Burns. So Judy Burns wrote this, and I think Chet Richards got some writing credit on it as well. This is among the episodes where the entire crew is dead on a Constitution class starship. So if you play advanced Star Trek trivia like I do, that would be the Doomsday Machine, Omega Glory, the Ultimate Computer, and the Tholian Web. I'll say that again in case you are prepping for a trivia night. I believe this question is in my advanced trivia game. The entire crew is dead on a Constitution class starship. Make sure that you know that is the linchpin. Doomsday Machine, Omega Glory, the Ultimate Computer, and the Tholian Web. This is one of 3 episodes with no guest stars. So we spent a little bit of money on the suits. So
no guest stars.
There are no guest stars. And that would be, if you are playing trivia, the Enemy Within, the Immunity Syndrome, and of course, the Tholian Web. The environmental suit is Boss. It's sold at the 40th anniversary auction for $144,000 American. As I've said before, I don't pre-read the block text, so I never know what's coming. I read it extemporaneously. That suit sold for $144,000. And I think they thought it was going to go for $6,000. I would absolutely love to have this suit. If I had this suit, I would probably not ever cosplay anything else ever again. This was my dream before there was even a thing called cosplay. So cosplay came out I think the word cosplay came out of Japan in 1984 or 1985. I was dreaming about wearing this suit to like science conventions and stuff way before we even had the word cosplay, before that even entered our language here in North America. So I absolutely love this environmental suit.
Yes.
In my notes, I have Nichelle is absolutely gorgeous. I just think that she is one of the most beautiful women. And of course, she is an icon for me. She is a communications and technology engineer, whereas I am a communications and technology scholar. And she 100% inspired my life and my career. I put in my notes, Koenig's con rehearsal. I put Spock lies, and then of course I put intensely interesting species. It's just, how could you not be interested in this marvelous species? I just think it's like I put in my notes, intensely interesting, just something totally different, and I just absolutely love it. Yeah,
absolutely. Again, great character stuff in this one. A good concept, and it doesn't have any of the clunky crap that you in the past 2 episodes that were in those, or in Spock's brain or anything like that. This is actually an attempt to not be outlay. I don't know how to get some of these better ones in the 3rd season squeezed through the cracks, but this one feels like one of the 1st or 2nd season, whether you like it a whole lot or not. It's not filled with just ludicrous, really terrible stuff. not really. I mean, there are a couple of crazy scenes, with I think crewmen going nuts and stuff like that, which are kind of filmed a little wonky. But the story is a very valid one and a very good drama. And again, the writing, because some of the writing in some of these third season episodes, when you go back and see them again, some of it's really clunky. It's as if it goes, wait a minute, there are 2 previous seasons, and you writing these episodes and directing these episodes know how these characters talk and interact, because apparently sometimes you don't. Yeah. This one is not really the case so much with this one.
Oh, Katie says, going to head out for the night. Thanks so much for the warm welcome back, everyone. Feels so good to be back here. Many good tidings to you all, and especially Raquel and Mike. Live long and prosper. We love you, Katie Carr. And make sure you check in with us. Yes. We were all thinking about you. It wasn't just Clobby and I. Everyone in this community sent me a letter. Well, not everyone, but a lot of people from this community sent me a letter privately to check in on you, because they know that you and I are friends. So I want you to know that this whole chat was worried about you. And we totally respect that you took a break from social media, because it's insane and people can be nuts, like totally nuts. So, but you are loved and missed. So thank you so much for stopping by, and keep in touch with us, please.
Katie, please, if you would give either, if you have Raquel's email, please find that, or mine in my description below. My email address, I think, is there. Send one of us an email just so we can, you can at least, if you are off the social grid or whatever, at least you can give us a holler sometimes, so we can check, see how you're doing and stuff like that.
And I hope you're doing really good in your classes. Please make sure that you're studying, and I hope you're dancing. You are a beautiful ballerina, and I hope you're dancing gorgeous. Make sure you get out there and you dance, and you practice lots, and make sure that you're studying, and keeping those grades high. And very proud of you, and kick butt, kiddo. And we'll see you soon. Okay.
And we hope you pop in next week and say hello to us. Please hang with us if you can. Great to see you, Katie. So yeah, again, I really like this episode a lot. I guess it's it's one of those small, unlike Gem and the Empath. This really is a gem of the third season for me, anyway.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
So,
I think so.
I tell you what, I will. Let's see. Are we ready for rating?
Yes, let's do it.
Okay. I will ask my wonderful first officer, Raquel, for her rating, everyone. Then I'll give you mine, and then we'll ask our great chat for their rating. So go for it, number 1.
Captain, this is season 3, but I got to give it an A. This is A material. It could have easily fit in with season 1 and season 2. I don't know how they got it past these bumbling morons who inserted themselves, these executives who inserted themselves into this season. This is a shining light, a beacon on season 3. So it's an A. It is a solid A for me, boss.
Excellent. I am a B+, folks. I mean, that's high for third season. That means, look, and because I love Trek so much that when I'm given a B+, that means I really, really like an episode. I mean, obviously, there are ones I love a lot more. I don't know if it makes my top 25, to be honest. See, Lord Thoth, I'm not top 10ing it. But I do and really, really love it. So don't think that's not a high rating. B+ is a big one for me.
Yep.
So, all right, my good friends. Oh, yeah, but Thoth has the Eagle Moss Defiant that glows in the dark. Nice. Okay, Pat, I backtracked to you. Our good buddy Pat S. Dropped one early. That's okay, buddy. It happens. A B+ also for Pat S. This episode and Spock's Brain were the first 2 episodes I ever saw. Wow, good, the good, the bad, and the ugly. Huh? Night Gallery came on. Night Gallery used to freak me out, dude. Jesus, freak me out. It came on after Trek on WGNO, and that's New Orleans. And so in my 9-year-old mind, I thought Star Trek was a horror show. Zombie Spock and Ghost Kirk. Yeah, but wow, good point. Yeah, wow, dude. Let's see here. Oh, they did use those suits on Mork and Mindy. That's right.
They did. Yeah.
Good one. Who said that? Who gave us that one?
I liked Mork and Mindy.
Oh yeah.
Nanu. But that isn't the Star Trek's first brush with Mork and Mindy.
No.
It has several brushes with Mork and Mindy. Yeah.
That was Brad Fisher. Thank you. Okay, make sure I'm trying to get all the. Oh, Cisco Kid is a B+. Thank you. Let's get to some more ratings down here, my friends. I'm a little behind everyone, so I'm catching up to it right now. All right. I hope I didn't miss anyone. My eyes are garbage, as you all know.
Yes.
Is an A. A solid A for okay. Dark Shadow Logan is. I give this episode an A. It shows a lot of character development between Spock and Bones, and Kirk brought them back. And Kirk brought them back together with the videotaped speech. Yeah, I really love that speech while remaining out of the most of the episode. That's a very good point.
Mm-hmm.
Absolutely, it's by the way I messed up reading it, but well done. B for J.J. Kirk. Tholians are an awesome alien species and set up some great episodes in DS9 and Enterprise. Yeah.
Yep.
Also, while the spacesuits are camping, I love them myself. FWIW. I'm not sure what that means. They predate modern scuba and spacesuits by years, so I give them slack. I guess they were maybe like beekeeper outfits, huh?
Love it.
I
just
love them
absolutely
anyway.
love it. I love it. I love it. Raymond's leaving?
Oh, okay. Oh, is he? Raymond, thanks for being here, buddy. We appreciate you, and I appreciate you hanging with us for Thursday, bud.
Good night, my friend. Thank you so much for being here. I hope I see you on next Saturday. Oh, for what it's worth is what FWIW means.
Oh, okay, good. Yeah. It says you just let's see, Eric. Let's see. I just text Clobby in the middle of the night saying, "What you doing? How are you?" Yeah. I thought you meant you just texted me. I'm sorry. I thought you had just now texted me, but I checked. You maybe checked my text and I didn't see you there. So I misunderstood. That's common with me. The Great Rod Thunderheart is an A+. This is why Star Trek is so good on character development.
Yeah.
I couldn't agree more. It is.
And Nichelle gets so much screen time on this one too. I love it, and I love seeing her in a caftan, and I just think she's sexy and beautiful and wonderful, and is so close with the guys. She's one of them. She's fourth in line according to Gene Roddenberry. She's fourth in command. And it really shows here. And she shines. And it's just, I love this episode. It's a good episode. Can't believe it's in season 3.
Yeah, absolutely. D. Bud Martin, A-. Same feelings as Clobby. Plus, the Tholians were used in Starfleet battle. Oh, okay, in battles game. I did not know that. Well, there you go. I did not know that. Wow. B+ from Brad Fisher. Thank you. For me, one of my favorite episodes. Well, absolutely. Yeah, it is a really good one. Raymond Feliciano. I think he may have already ran out, but Raymond, thank you, buddy. He gives it an A. One of my most liked episodes, the drama and Spock McCoy interaction.
Yeah. That's why I like it too, Raymond. I love that too. I just absolutely love it. Shows that friendship, that connection.
Great character stuff in this one. Scuba Pete gives it an A. This is my favorite out of season 3. In my top 20, love those suits.
Yeah,
me too.
I love Scuba Pete
figuring things out. Yes.
Yep, for sure.
They're really good stuff. Yeah.
Love you. I always love your comments, Scuba Pete. Scuba Pete!
Indeed. Yep. And they call him Scuba Pete. Eric K, solid B+ to an A. No, to an A-, rather. Brought Spock and McCoy closer. Yes, that is absolutely. That's a good point there.
Yeah, we love that.
Robin Williams was a semi-regular customer at my sci-fi science fiction store. Wow, dude, that's amazing. I know he liked geek stuff, so that's damn cool. I know he was a gamer. I think like played video games and stuff. That's amazing, dude. No, let's see here. In Helmet from Outer Limits, Soldier was used by more. Oh yeah, that Soldier. There you go.
Yeah.
Lord Thoth B. One of the best of season 3, costume department on point, and Tholians. Yeah, I love Tholians. I love the Tholians, and I love the whole web thingy. It was just kind of that's really a cool thing there. Hate them in Starfleet battle tabletop strategy game. Floating Kirk should be a meme. Spock in command.
Yeah.
Memers of the world unite on that.
Yeah. I can take care of that for you, LT.
Snortopupus Cuber. I thoroughly enjoyed the crew's reaction to Kirk's apparent death. Yes, that's a good point. That's a good point to bring up. They really look. He might have been a hard nose with him and stuff like that, but they really loved and respected him.
Yeah.
The Spock McCoy interchanges was a very good exposition of their relationship and bickering. Very good, sir. I'm right there with you.
I love Snortopupus. He always has smart things to say. I love that. I love his comments.
I'll finish this up. I don't know in a second. I'll be right there. Finish Argus. And how close they really were once you get past the bickering. Oh, yes. Yeah. Okay, excellent. Absolutely. A rating, my brother. A rating. It shows the bond and trust between the three well. It shows that, well, sorry, I'm reading too fast sometimes. I'm so sorry, everyone.
That's okay.
Much better than the previous episode, and that sometimes we need to be reminded to rely on each other. Well, very good. Phoenix August, indeed.
Great comment.
Okay, thank you for that clarification there, JT Kirk. I'm in the, you know that, man. Like Gary likes to say, I was kicked out of 3 high schools. I was kicked out of 3 kindergartens.
Not true.
The great, only 1. I'm just kidding. It's exactly maybe 2. It may have been 2. It's been a while. The great Christmas. A great interaction between the crew. This is what Star Trek is meant to be. I agree with that. Ideas and interaction and characterization. Plus, the idea of the web was later incorporated into the Farscape episode, The Flax. Oh, I think I sort of remember that one. Further proving how Star Trek inspires other ways. There's a lot of Star Trek in Farscape.
I don't think I've watched that episode yet, Chris. I'll be looking for it because you said that. Thank you, Chris.
So I'm trying to remember it. I only saw him once, but okay, there you go. Cool, though. Snortopupus is another one. Oh, I'm sorry. I must have missed that one. Kirk's final message from them was perfect. Yes, a Tholian ship design was inexpensive, but quite good. Yes, it is. It is a nice design. It is an interesting design, is it not? Isn't it? TMF. A. The plot was a tight web of interrelated human camaraderie. Raquel in the suit. I think she meant suit. Would have made it an A+.
I love you, TMF.
Raquel makes everything an A+.
I love you. You're such a sweetheart.
Let's see here. Let's see. Sorry about the vamping music, folks. Just kidding. Trying to find all these ratings. Maybe we're out of ratings. We got some more coming up. I'm just way behind here. Mark D with a C. A 5 out of 5 Tholian Swiss watches. Shows the love, trust, and friendship between Spock and McCoy, despite their sniping.
Yeah.
The backdrop is a great action story with the crew, trying to save the Space Ghost Kirk. Yes. It's the drama, the really great drama in this one.
Also highlights how brave he is. Imagine being in an alternate universe and you're all alone. And he even speaks to it at the end. He says, I was all alone. And it's good to get back to this crowded universe. But it definitely speaks to his braveness, doesn't it? Because I would have been a wreck being left alone like that. That's terrifying.
I really love that Mark D with the C brought this up, because sometimes I forget some of my favorite. We don't do it since we're going so fast. I forget there's so many great lines we just leave behind because he puts them all in the chat at least, which is fantastic. But yes, I always love that. I understand, Doctor. I'm sure the captain would simply have said, "Forget it, Bones." I do love that line.
Yeah, and what's funny is that's the only time that he ever calls him Bones.
That's right. More trivia there for you. Thank Mark D with the C, always bringing it. C Mitchum, C, as at Esh might say, ma, hoo, you. I don't know what that means, but I'm glad he said it.
I don't know, but hoo it has meaning for me.
Well, there you go. That's all that matters.
No idea. No, I have no idea.
Esh is up now. Up, everyone. Esh time here.
Here we go.
Esh, just a B. The intradimensional stuff and the whole phasing in and out was cool. But for the most part, I found this episode kind of boring. However, suits were cool. Okay.
Yeah.
Wow. And the messed up space affecting the psychology of the crew was cool, but for me, the most part, meh. Gotcha.
Meh.
Wow, interesting. Interesting how people have different perspectives on episodes.
Snortapoopus, you and I think so much alike, right? Hoo-hoo. You keep your hoo-hoo in your pants.
Oh, Canadian Spider-Man's back. Yo, buddy.
Yay! I knew you'd be back.
Welcome back, sir. Make sure we got all of our... I'm just making sure, everyone, that we have all of our ratings. And then we'll
while
move
you
on.
do that, I'm going to open the door to my office. My husband closed the door to my office,
problemo.
and it is literally 7 million. Not literally, it's 7 million degrees in my office. Hold on for 1 second, okay?
No problem. Let's see here. Minimus. And I hope if I miss anyone, let me know. You know how it goes, folks. I give it a B because there was a lot of good acting going on from everyone. The floating Kirk thing could have been done better. Yeah, that's for sure. That's true. Yeah. Yeah, that is for sure. Let's see. Now I think we got there.
Okay. Sorry about that. Thank you so much. I might be able to wake up now. It's 7 million degrees in here.
Oh, there you go. Oh yeah, well, it's Chinese for S says that Mama Yu is Chinese for it's average or it's meh. Okay.
All right.
Gotcha.
I just learned something. Mama Yu. Okay.
There you go. Canadian Spider-Man B+. The concept of abnormal space and the suits were awesome. Okay.
Yes.
I love those suits. I think this could be the end of our ratings for the Tholian web, folks. If anyone pops one up, I'll give it a second. Then we will get to move on to our final episode of the evening.
Claude says Raquel's room is fit only for a Tholian, right? Get out of here.
She is Laskin. Yes. There you go. So, all right, everyone. Well, I think we are ready. Are we ready, number one, to move on to the final episode of the evening?
Yes. Let me just get
I harken back to Johnny Carson when he was, I hold in my hand the final envelope, and everyone started clapping, and he cursed the audience for clapping. Then it was almost over. May a rabid raccoon run up your shorts. So something like that. Mike Beat, welcome.
Hey.
Hey, Mike Beat, good to see you there. Okay, let's see here. I guess we're ready to get on to our final episode of the evening.
Okay. We are on.
I think we're all right.
For the world is hollow, and I have touched the sky. The longest Star Trek title.
Longest
also
TV title.
Yes.
Longest title of any TV show ever made, probably.
Season 3, Episode 8, Prod Code 65. And if you're following along in the block text, we are on 298. And with the door open to my office, I might actually wake up and be able to read this time.
Uh-oh.
Fully went for a nap there. Okay, gotta get it together. All right. Shortly after McCoy discovers that he is terminally ill, the Enterprise comes upon what appears to be an asteroid headed straight toward a populated world. Sensors reveal that the asteroid is hollow and is, in fact, a spaceship. Believing the vessel to be uninhabited, Kirk, Spock, and McCoy beam inside and are promptly confronted by the people of Yonada, who are unaware that they live on a ship. The vessel is controlled by a sophisticated computer known as the Oracle, which the inhabitants consider a godlike entity. Unfortunately, the Oracle, with its 10,000-year-old programming, is far more fallible than a god, and Kirk and Spock are stymied as to how to repair it without revealing the truth about the world to its inhabitants. As the two attempt to covertly address the problem, McCoy finds himself growing close to the beautiful high priestess who rules on behalf of the Oracle. If the asteroid that hides a big stellar arc looks at all familiar, it's probably because it's the same lumpy model that was used in the Paradise Syndrome. But the big rock is not the only similarity between the two episodes. Some say that there are only 7 basic storylines and that all fiction is merely permutations of the 7. If so, Star Trek certainly managed to hit most of those storylines multiple times. The series' 3rd season seems particularly rife with repeated motifs from earlier episodes. The title, For the World is Hollow and I Have Touched the Sky, may be a lot longer than the Paradise Syndrome, but many of the other details are strikingly similar. In each episode, one of the ship's key crew members is incapacitated in some way. In Paradise, Kirk has amnesia. In Hollow, McCoy is afflicted with a devastating blood disease. And because of this, each winds up spending time on a planet, or quote unquote planet, because obviously it's an asteroid or a ship, with a woman he can't help falling for, who he, in fact, marries. But long-term happiness is not in the cards, since each respective planet, or quote unquote planet, is about to be smashed to bits, or is about to smash some other planet to bits, all because some high-tech piece of equipment has begun to malfunction. No one knows how to fix it, because no one remembers how it works, or even that it exists. But McCoy and Kirk leave when their medical problems subside. McCoy tells Natira that he wants to search through the universe to find a cure for himself and others like him, which in fact happens approximately 1 minute later when Spock finds it in the Fabrini library. Kirk leaves after he regains his memory and after Miramani dies. But the odds are that, like McCoy, would have moved on even if she survived. Well, Block, you're not writing well here. During this era of television, single leading men in weekly dramas did not get to reap the benefits of nuptials. If the Cartwright men of Bonanza could pull it off, what chance did a group of futuristic sailors whose life, lover, and lady was the cosmic sea? Although it was inevitable that his relationship with the High Priestess Natira would end, it's nice to see McCoy finally get to fall in love and kiss an extremely beautiful woman. Viewers who'd followed the show from the very beginning had witnessed McCoy's anxious reunion with his former paramour, or at least what he thought was a former paramour, in the Man Trap. They'd seen his tentative flirtations with Yeoman Barrows and Shoreleave, but that was as far as the writers seemed willing to take McCoy, until they sent Natira his way. That McCoy had lived a lonely life is probably news to anyone who hasn't read the series' writer's guide, which offered scribes the tantalizing information that McCoy had been married at some point in the deep, dark past, and that the marriage had ended unhappily, driving him into space. But until Rick Volaerts opted to utilize this thread in his script for The World is Hollow and I Have Touched the Sky, the gruff but tender-hearted doctor never seemed to behave like a man who'd led a lonely life. Kirk promised McCoy a trip to Yonada, or rather, to a world where the Yonadans would start their new lives outside the space ark in a little over a year. One hopes that he made good on the promise. DeForest Kelley had the heart of a poet, a fact best known to all of his friends who gathered throughout his life with his soft, gentle Georgian manner. After receiving his discharge from the U.S. Army Air Force at the end of World War II, Kelley hoped to pursue an acting career, and when the talent scout from Paramount Pictures saw him in a play in Long Beach, California, his dream solidified. During the 1940s and 50s, he starred in numerous motion pictures and dozens of television series, usually playing the heavy. That villainous persona couldn't have been further from his own, and Kelley occasionally worried that he would be typecast in such roles forever. Then, in 1966, he donned the Starfleet uniform of Dr. Leonard McCoy and actually was typecast for the rest of his life, but not in a way that he ever regretted. McCoy is anything but a heavy, possessing the same strong, caring demeanor of a man who portrayed him with the next 33 years. Kelly was fond of telling his friends that he was still living in the same house with the same wife. The stability in that statement allowed him to pursue his poetic drive, and he wrote a long poem titled The Big Bird's Dream. The big bird of the title wasn't Kelly, however. The poem was about the creation of Star Trek by Gene Roddenberry, whom the series cast and crew had long dubbed the Great Bird of the Galaxy, and about efforts to relaunch Star Trek's following the show's cancellation. Encouraged by the warm reception he had received at Star Trek conventions around the world, Kelly delighted in reciting the poem to rapt listeners. Eventually, Kelly's wife, Carolyn, copied the poem in flawless practice calligraphy, and the actor began distributing autographed copies of his slim self-published book of verse. He was working on a sequel to be titled The Dream Goes On when he passed away in 1999. Mm-hmm. And that's all the block text has to say about For the World is Hollow and I Have Touched the Sky. Oh, come on. I got to grow up here.
Uh-oh. Jed, what's up, buddy? You all right?
That'll get you misty-eyed.
Yeah, D. Kelly. Lovely. What a wonderful, wonderful fellow.
Yeah, he's just incredibly special person.
Yeah, we love you, D. Farms Killer. This is an episode that I think is kind of a mess, to be quite honest with you. I mean, it's some of the stuff with it being slightly McCoy-centric is nice. Of course, as you could imagine, I love the lady. Yep. I think she's a hot lady. But it really, this episode, it's got an interesting premise. It has the hollow planetoids, planetoid that's not a planetoid, really a ship being launched by this this race, out into space, to save the people, all this other kind of mess. And it's actually, it's off course and heading for Darren 5, the planet that it's endangering. And, that all that stuff, that's all fine and good with the, it's actually, I guess that's considered to be, is that your B or is that your A story? Or is the story about Kirk's xenopalozemia, whatever? Is that is that the A story? I'm not really sure what it is. Mm-hmm. That's a little bit of both. But everything, this is just the kind of thing that you set up a convoluted, complicated story like this, and you only have 50 minutes to tell it. And a lot of things happen conveniently in 50 minutes that just don't really work all that well. Like she sees him 2 seconds later, she wants to marry him and all that kind of stuff and things like that. Again, we have yet another computer that's, that James Doohan is, of course, with his voice. Of course. I just really, it's kind of the episode that's kind of, it's not like it's really terrible. We're not talking about in the children's show leaders, Fox brain type stuff, at least from my opinion. Maybe some people hate it more. And we're not talking, again, there's nothing really excruciatingly, annoyingly bad about it for me, but it's kind of flat. Yeah. It's its premise is okay in some ways. I don't think they explain much. They don't really, it's just not a very well written story, in my opinion. And I don't know what you think.
I 100% agree.
I mean, I don't hate it. I don't have real strong. If you see strong feelings, hating it either. I just don't really. I don't really like this episode much. I really don't think that it's that great of an idea, that great of a story. I mean, more idea than story, because they really don't make a lot of sense with it. And I'm going all over the place. I understand that, but because it's I'm kind of wishy-washy on it. It's just gonna
Yeah, I mean it's a seesaw, this one, and it's not all good. I don't think that this is a great episode. I don't think it's a terrible episode. My saying, it's neither divine nor disgusting. It's just sort of meh. It's very typical of the season 3, and that's unfortunate. But that's the nature of the executive interference that this season experienced.
Yeah, I mean, there's one little scene there that kind of got me a little bit. You know, when Spock is told, when Kirk tells
Yes.
Spock about McCoy's condition,
Oh,
and
and he touches him on the
then
shoulder.
McCoy wakes up. That always kind of struck me. You know, McCoy wakes up and Spock's got his hand on his shoulder. I think
That one,
that's good stuff.
that'd get me. That gets me every time, and I can't believe that you would name the exact scene that I think is possibly the best scene in this whole
It's the
episode.
best. I think it is the best bit. With some of the other stuff with Kirk, you can see, you know, Shatner does a pretty good job of emoting how bad he feels about McCoy. But yes,
Yeah,
and we get to see Admiral Comac again from the
Yep.
Trouble with Tribbles. You know, but yeah, I think that's for me. And when something that's like that small and subtle stands out to you, then you know your episode has problems. So do really like that part.
yeah.
Captain Cockney Spock, welcome. First time I've ever seen you here, my friend. It's good to see you. Welcome, sir.
So nice to see you.
And so, yeah, this is again not offensively bad or anything,
No.
in my opinion, but not a good one.
No, yeah, it's tepid. It's like having a warm glass of water. It's not super
Yes.
offensive, but it's not exactly quenching either. So, you know, and that's unfortunate, you know.
And I'm sure you have some notes for us.
I do actually. I
Go
was
for
just
it.
also digging around on my computer because I'll share with you guys in a second there. And I actually have Gene's guide that they're talking about, and I just brought it up on my computer so I could actually share the paragraph that describes McCoy if you'd like.
Sure,
Let me just see if I can do this in enough clicks that I don't make a mess of things. Okay, so I just click share, right, boss?
Yes. There you go. And I will handle the rest right there.
What?
What you got? Is it just a pic?
Oh, okay,
there we go.
Stupid stuff because I'm on a Mac.
Oh, I got you.
Okay. Here it is. So can you see it, everybody?
Mm-hmm.
All right. So this is the Star Trek Writer's Guide, written by Gene Roddenberry. I have a copy of this. It's 34 pages long. This describes bones. And so I didn't really have this plan to show you. I just dug it up. So just let me find the thing where it talks about his
I used to have this.
His divorce. Just wait 1 second here.
I think I used to have this, but it's been a while. But yeah, did they mention Joanna McCoy in this?
Yeah, I have it. I have it printed out. Well, I have the third version, so like he edited it 3 times, so this is like his like perfected version or whatever. Here it is. It's Dr. McCoy is 45 years of age, was married once, something of a mystery that ended unhappily in divorce. He has a daughter, Joanna, who is 20 and in training as a nurse somewhere. McCoy has provided for her, hears from her as often as intergalactic mail permits, but his duty aboard the starship keeps them apart. We will suspect that it was the bitterness of this marriage and divorce which turned McCoy to the space service. He was born in Georgia in the United States and could be something of a gallant Southern gentleman in social life, particularly with females. When the moment is right, a trace of his Southern accent will be heard. Yeah, especially if he's had some booze. But I thought that you would all enjoy that because the block mentioned it. But if you would like a copy of that, please let me know, because I have it in digital and I have it in physical. So if anybody would like a copy of that, let me know.
There you go. I think I used to have that thing.
Yeah, it's a fun thing to read because it's this actual guide. So when people are like, Gene Roddenberry's vision and blah, 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 and they try and tell you who Spock is, you can just literally go and just, no, that's not who Spock is. Do you know what I mean? Anyway, on to my notes. The Yonanda text is based on an ancient Korean alphabet, or the ancient version of the Korean alphabet. The Book of the People is actually a piece of the action. It's the same book from the piece of the action. Also, if you have an eye for detail like I do, that staircase, boy, it sure gets used often, right? We just saw it in the empath. And John Lormer from The Cage, he's turning old man old
Yep.
man into a cottage industry. Oracle is Duhan with normal hair. I thought that was a good joke. Probably not.
In The Cage and Return of the Archons, right?
And always thought Orphans of the Sky by Heinlein was inspired by this episode. And that's all I got for notes.
Wasn't he also in Return of the Archons?
Yes, he was. Yeah. Yes, he was in Return of the Archons as well. But
I knew Steve was going to do that. By the way, I don't want any more cracks about the book.
Yeah, so funny.
Yes. Well, all right, everyone. I guess if we have if there's nothing further on this one, I will ask my wonderful first officer Raquel to give me her rating of "For the world is hollow and I have touched the sky." I couldn't say it the way that guy said it. And then I will give mine, and then I will ask our illustrious chat for your ratings, my friends. So, give us your rating. Number one of this episode.
Well,
Be brutal.
I had a rating for it and erased it because I thought maybe I was being a little harsh. Like I just thought that I was harshing on season 3 a little too much. And sometimes I enjoy that because you know how much I value the artist over the corporation. I value the author over the executive committee. So I did write C+, and then I erased it and I put B-. But I would like to erase it again and put C+ again. So it's
Okay.
C+.
It's your rating. You get to do whatever you want with it.
Yeah, it's a C+ for me. And if you made me watch it again and not in the linear fashion I normally do, but if you made me watch it back to back, I might even give it less than a C+.
Not a problem at all, I say. My rating is a C-, and that's mainly because there are far, far more horrible, lousy episodes.
There are.
So I don't really have a whole lot against this one. I just don't like it. I think it's probably again another example of just not a good call to use this script at all or to use this story at all.
Mm-hmm.
But if you really need to do a lot of work on it. It needed a lot of work. It's strange, you got something as well crafted for the most part anyway as the Tholian web, and then you have this, and it's just the horrible inconsistency that in season 3 might be its biggest problem.
Yeah.
By the way, our good friend Lord Thoth had to leave, but he left his rating,
What?
and he had to leave, but he's a C-, same as mine.
I didn't see you leave, LT. Have a good week. Please be safe at work. We'll see you next Saturday.
He had to run. So, chat, please. I'm sure they probably already put him in there, but I'm holding the chat off, so I don't see it yet. I hope you guys put your ratings in for The World is Hollow, and I have touched the sky, and I will start looking at your review, your ratings. So let's see here. Someone did one early, but I backed it up. Dark Shadow Logan.
What'd he say?
Let's see. C. So C for this one. C for Catwoman. No, C for this one. Bones gets to be the romantic leading man. An interesting storyline, which shows the dangers of forcing conformity in society and limiting free thought. It does do that. There's some Trek, a lot of that in the whole Hollow Planet thing. It's not devoid of Trek ideas or some good Trek feeling, which is why that elevates it above some of the really bad stuff in the 3rd season. So that's not a bad call at all. Dark Shadow Logan, I hear you. It's true. Definitely not devoid of Trekness.
Yeah, that's true. And that's a decent rating for this episode.
Absolutely. Let's see here. All right. Oh, did I lose something? This thing jumped on me, everyone. Sorry. Let's say, oh my goodness. Okay. All right, let me find. It takes a second to get to it. Is a C.
Yeah.
All righty.
That's fair.
Cisco Kid gives us a C-.
Yep.
Snortopoopas Cuber, 1 of 2. C minus. Another asteroid threatening the world.
Yeah.
Yes, yeah, it is familiar. It's getting familiar, isn't it?
Yeah.
This galaxy seems to be a bit crowded.
Yeah.
It's a good thing McCoy is a major character and not a Cartwright love interest. Yes, the Cartwright's love interest had a tendency to drop. Those Cartwrights were killers. Everyone that married a Cartwright was doomed.
Yes, and while we're talking about familiar themes, there's a lot of obelisk going on here.
A lot of obelisking also, obelisking all over the place. Yeah,
maybe there's some obelisk envy going on
what the hell? Oh dear Lord. At least Yonada has one of those handy asteroid zappers, and of Dr. House's. I got you.
Love you,
oh man. Well, D. Bud Martin. B. I guess B minus. B minus only. I think it's B minus. Only for DeForest Kelly's acting in this when the story is meh. Yes, fair enough.
I love meh.
Doug 35 will be a B minus.
Yeah, see, Doug, I was thinking the same thing. Doug, I totally see eye to eye with you on this one, because it's like you don't want to punish it so much. I mean, it's not that bad.
No, it's just really kind of, in some ways, I don't want to say incoherent, but it really does not tell its story very well, in my opinion.
No.
With some good Trekness in there, though, I'll admit that. Eric K is a C plus. McCoy finally gets some. Yeah, it's about time, isn't it? He may be an old country doctor, but he has some moves. He does, and she just went after him right away. I never believed he was lonely.
No,
I did like when Kirk said, I thought personally, I find her taste questionable, but when he was teasing McCoy about it.
Yep.
On trips, he always had the lady on his arm. Raquel would look better in the outfit. Oh,
I love you. What a wonderful thing to say. And I actually I totally agree with all of your comments. That's exactly what I'm thinking too. Like, it's so funny because earlier on tonight, my husband says to me, he says, in all the years I've known you, and he's known me for well over 20 years. He says, you've always gravitated towards Spock, and everybody associates you with Spock, but you have the biggest soft spot for DeForest Kelly. You love D, and he is a close favorite, a close second for you. And yeah, it's just very touching. And I love him. And the stuff that Block wrote about him in that book, in the book tonight from 365, I was actually moved by that. And I thought that it was well considered and touching. And it's got a picture of him in his living room with his beautiful little pupper, his wee little dog. And I love that man. What a shame that we lost him.
Way too early. Yeah, loved him. He was great. Brad Fisher says C plus. Overall, man, but I did really enjoy the old man's reading of the title, "For the World is Hollow. I have touched the sky." Yes. Yeah. Yes, his third Star Trek appearance at that point. The first time I heard it 4 years ago, it gets me. So so that gets an A. Well, I can't blame you at all for that one.
Yeah, well, that's totally understandable. You have defended your position well.
Indeed. The great Pat S. Good buddy. C. What the hell did they do in season 3? Hire a poetry major from Vassar to write episode titles? Miss I Mud much? Yeah. Wow.
Well, Pat, this is what I'm talking about when I always refer to season 1 and season 2, and I talk about the nucleus of the storytelling, and when we see that nucleus show up, the story is always remarkably better. And it's sad.
Rod Thunderheart, B minus, yo. There you go.
Yep.
Let's see here. Scuba Pete, C minus. Love Bones getting his romance on.
Yeah,
want to play doctor, but we've been here before with this computer lost people. That's.
It's funny too, Scuba Pete, and speaking to Eric K. Right now as well. I've said this to Clobby in private, and now I'm going to say it live on air. You know how Southern people and people from Georgia, they have a reputation in the United States, and sometimes it's not always a nice reputation. I have to tell you that because I grew up as a Trekkie in Canada, that DeForest Kelley, Leonard McCoy, he is my first impression with Georgian people. He's my first impression for a Southern gentleman. And so I have such a fond feeling for Georgian people and for Southern people because of growing up in Canada and growing up a Trekkie. I absolutely love DeForest Kelley. D is so handsome and kind and wonderful and good to animals and just such a great in his bones. For TMF, there's a pun. Good in his bones. The man is just magnificent. So yeah, I feel so sad that that we no longer have him around because wow, was he ever special?
Was indeed. Love him. JT Kirk C. I unwound the data tapes on this episode, compared their length with Mary Poppins measuring tape, and found the episode was moderately mediocre in every way. Wow, that's a spectacular one there.
That's a gooder.
Well done, Zuchi Cook. Steve Ernest. Natira gets an A+ for her eyeliner, and the episode proper a B-.
That is such a good rating.
Nice.
Stephen Ernest, that is such a good rating. Mwah.
Indeed. Mike B. Don't remember it well enough to rate it. I do remember. They have used this plot several times in sci-fi, so it's hard to, it had some influence. That is absolutely true. Captain Cockney Spock, C++ or Java.
Yep.
There you go. Let's see here. Canadian Spider-Man does what a Canadian spider can. Solid B. I like stories where Kirk isn't the leading man.
Yeah, me too.
Kelly was a great actor, and I can't get enough of him.
Agreed.
Yeah. Plus, anything that speaks against conformity is right up my alley. Well,
yes.
Fair enough. There was that element to it. They didn't really expound upon much. Like I said, that episode had some, and definitely had some ideas. It's not devoid of potential, like something like Is There in Truth or Beauty or something like that, but it does have some good ideas in there.
Yep,
so I can
does.
That. Well done, Canadian CSM. Oh my goodness, 1 of 8. Everyone, here we go. Get ready for an S pick.
Snortopoopus in us. We're gonna be waiting on TMF. We're all gonna wait in the back of the class for the director's cut.
I love Ash. This is fun. I enjoy this.
Here we go.
All right, Ash. Rating at end. This was conveniently predictable, yet also a lovely episode. Once McCoy was diagnosed with the illness, xenopolycythemia, I was immediately like, they are defo. Gonna points off for defo for using that word. It's not a word, but I don't mind people making up words, but I may have to hurt you for that one. Gonna find the cure in the same episode. Yes knows I love him. Here we go. Xenopolycythemia is a great. It is a great. It's like Mixyespitalik, or saying Mixyespitalik backwards. Kill Tip Zixum. Because the xeno part usually refers to an alien.
Yes.
An alien in origin, and the polycythemia refers to an increase in the number of red blood cells in the body. Because they're very clever.
It's a real disease, isn't it?
Yeah, Star Trek has always been very clever that way, but trying to be, to at least have some science connection to it. That's what I love so much. Even original series and all the real Treks have tried that. I mean, obviously they have their moment where it's not always super science, but they definitely try to be that way, which is because it's a science fiction show. It's not STD filth. No. The extra cells cause the blood to be thicker, and this in turn increases the risk of other health issues such as blood clots. According to my bestie Google, it's a rare blood cancer.
Oh, it's a cancer. Okay, I didn't know that.
Let's see here. 4. And yes, terminal. Nice touch. The outfits were unusual yet cool. They were actually using the outfits from Friday's show, the Capellans hat. The hats that the Capellans wrote, if you remember. It looked like to me some of those dudes.
Yeah.
The concept of a civilization launching to save themselves, but generations on lose the main purpose. Yeah, the concept. There's some good stuff in the concept. Don't worry, Mark D with a C. I'll get back to you, brother. Let me finish this up first. That's Espic here. 5 of 8. And, and develop a thriving culture, but under the rule of an iron fist computer was fascinating. McCoy's tragic love story was beautiful because be genuinely genuinely thought, because I think you mean he genuinely thought he was going to die. Yes. 6. And he just wanted to be happy for once in his life. The scene, he did talk about being lonely in that one. The scene where Spock touches McCoy's shoulder because he genuinely cares for his best friend. That got me too. As we talked about earlier, Ash, I'm right there on the same page.
Yeah, for me, it's a punch in the gut.
That was really good. And it's great the way Nimoy did it, because I think he doesn't even realize what he's doing. Or he doesn't. I mean, that's his human half kind of, peeking out, as McCoy would say.
Yep.
Also, the time constraint of the asteroid hitting the planet and trying not to kill a bunch of people was thrilling on top of everything.
Yeah.
This episode was a roller coaster, thrilling plot lines, a tragic love story, caring friends, a beautiful woman, and a McCoy episode all in one. A+. Ash really likes this one.
I respect your rhetoric, and I respect your rationale, and I respect your rating, sir.
Absolutely. Well done, Ash. That was an Ash pick for the ages, sir. Thank you. Mark D with a C. C+. The 2 out of 5 instruments of obedience. Yes. Yeah, he's on point always. This episode has lots of flaws, but interesting parallels to debates on truth and freedom of speech. Yes. One of 2. Ash made me do an extended review. Blame him. Okay, where's number 2? Let me find your second one, buddy.
Number 2 better not be number 2.
No.
But it was written by you, Mark. So it's gotta be good.
It'll be great. One of the most touching moments in Trek was Spock's extended clutching McCoy's.
Yeah.
I'm glad other people caught on to that, because it is something that's fairly subtle if you think about it.
It's the best part. It's the best part of the episode.
But you kind of, I don't know. It seems like it's not really. It's subtle. I think it's actually as well. But yeah, it's great. It is the best thing. Rod Thunderheart B+. I really like when others are given the chance to shine. Well, we love McCoy. Pop culture archivist Jed C for him getting some dude.
Oh my God.
Well, we're happy for him and all, but come on,
Jed. So funny.
I love Steve Mitchum. I'm gonna make some baklava while you read S's comments. Oh shit! 9 epilogue. Jesus Christ! That's 9, 8.
9 out of 8.
I love it. Epilogue. Do I do it right, Peter Jackson? I'm waiting for you. Yeah. So if you were Peter Jackson, there will be extended cuts too, like
so funny.
Yes, the extended special edition. All right, let's see if we got any more ratings, folks. It's Phoenix Argus. Oops. I had Phoenix Argus. Did I lose you? I'm sorry, Phoenix. I'm finding you, Phoenix. What happened?
Zathras 61 also has one up there, too.
What? You see what time it is? I lost
at
everybody.
53 minutes past the hour.
Okay, this thing's jumped on me. I hate this check.
I know. It's okay.
All right, Phoenix Argus says, C, nothing really stuck out and reminded me too much of the Return of the Archon.
Yeah.
And it reminded me too much of Return. I see what you're saying. McCoy finding a romance is nice, but seeing as it didn't go anywhere at the end, I can leave it. Yeah, the slight promise of he'll see her in 300 and some odd days,
Yeah.
But yes. Zathras gives it an A+. Veer sent some brownies immediately. Since Zathras like brownies. Zathras not know why Veer sends them to him, but Zathras likes Veer as well. Veer is nice to Zathras, and Zathras likes Veer, and Zathras loves Babylon 5. Everyone, if you know Babylon 5, that's hilarious, even with me doing the stupid voice. All right, sorry. Well, it's not. Oh, hilarious is an overstatement.
Yeah, Doug's 35. Yeah, I've always thought that the portrayal of the Southerners in the United States was unfortunate because of my very, very first impressions of Southerners through Star Trek. So that's why you'll always hear me talking about how much I love the Southern gentleman and how much I just absolutely love Dee and how much I love Clobby, and I haven't been to New Orleans yet. I got to get down there.
You definitely have to.
The food, I'm probably going to leave 10 pounds heavier, but just, yeah,
You'll love it.
it's unfortunate, but isn't it neat, Doug 35, how different it is for me being a Canadian, and my first exposure to Southerners was through this character instead of through something negative. So it really formed how I think and how I feel. I don't feel that automatic disgust or judgment of Southerners like a lot of people in the United States do. So yeah, I appreciate the comment, Doug 35.
Indeed. I'm trying to catch up here. I think. Oh, okay. All right. Okay. I 10:51. Let me go back here. I'm sorry, Rod. Let me see if I can find that. I didn't know I missed it, buddy. I'm sorry. Let me look for you. Oh, 10:51. Yeah, your 10:51 is my 11:51, buddy. So.
Claudia and Raquel. What did he say? Now I bow for the people. I twist, I turn, and strut off stage. This is Esh.
Ron, I'm not. Oh, we'll see. Rod, there you go. Okay. Sorry, Rod. There you go. B+. I really like one of those. Oh no,
you read that one.
We got that one. We did read that one, buddy.
Maybe we're missing something else that he wanted to say.
And so instead of Kurt. Okay.
Yeah, Canadian Spider-Man says, I love this chat and the atmosphere here that Claudia and Raquel create. Fun, joyous, and welcoming. That's exactly how we feel about you. And, you and I, we really have to put our heads together to try and get Claudia up here as soon as we're able and he's allowed to cross the border. I know you offered one time. I'm not going to hold you to that or put you on the spot. But if you'd like to get involved with that, I would just absolutely love to get him up here to go to Vulcan. I think we would all have a screaming riot together. And maybe we could do Volcon, because then Vulcan is really, really busy. Canadian Spider-Man, I want to take him to that mom and pop diner that sells the quadruple bacon and cheese sandwich with lettuce, tomato, and mayo. That sandwich is so good. That's where I want to take him for lunch. Anyway, we got to get him up here. I have to show him Vulcan. I have to take him to the Leonard Nimoy Monument. I have to show it to him. So, yeah, Canadian Spider-Man, you're a part of a community here, and you matter to us. And real friendships are forged here amongst geeks and nerds. And I'm so happy to be a part of it, and that you're a part of it.
There's a Volcon up there. We used to have a Volcon down here in New Orleans.
We have the Volcon here because Leonard Nimoy basically consecrated it as such. So we have an actual bronze monument, and he dedicated it. He dedicated the city, all of it. I believe it's supposed to happen much earlier, but apparently licensing people or something, they weren't too sure about it, but it actually happened. So and now the whole town is like that. There's a huge enterprise in the middle of town and stuff. So anyway, I'll show you some pictures, and
sure.
I would love to get you up here for that.
I would love to go up there. Thank you again for that also, Canadian Spider-Man. Let's see, I think we've gotten all of our reviews from our ratings from everyone, I believe. If I have not, there's still time. You can throw one in there, folks. I'm not caught up on the chat yet. It's taken way. I have to stop it and then go way back.
Go ahead, keep looking, because I'll just read some of these awesome comments. Does Plomeek soup have any carbs? JT Kirk asks. This is good. And then who said it? Who said everything's south to me? Somebody said everyone's south to me because I'm Canadian. I don't know where that one went. Oh, it was Phoenix Argus. Yeah, that's a good one. I love that one.
But Eric K. Regos, just fine. Invite Clobby. What about me? Hey,
no, you should all come up for Volcon as soon as you're able to cross the border. I would love it if you all came up for Volcon. I will definitely go there for the entire weekend, and it is so much fun. There are so many activities going on and stuff like that, and that you have to have that triple or quadruple bacon sandwich, Eric.
My goodness, I'm hungry.
I get extra cheese on it too, and it's so good.
See, I really wanted to go. Gary of Nerdrotic is having a bunch of those people, his channels and fans of other channels, all going to Vegas in August, my birthday time too. I'm exactly on my birthday. And I'm like, I would give anything to be able to. I would drive out there, and I'm probably not going to be able to swing it, but I would love to go to that and just meet everyone and meet all those people. That's something I would love to do. It's probably not going to happen, but that's a cool get together. But what I would love to do even more is what you said, to be able to go up there, to hang with you, and to finally get to meet you, to get to meet Canadian Spidey and Rod. Maybe we could convince Chris Persia and Lord Thoth to come hang with us, and Eric can show up, I hope.
Yeah. Well, I wouldn't mind coming down to you guys either. My husband and I, we haven't been down to New Orleans yet. And oh, wow, like I'll just go there and eat.
That's what
you guys could just meet me at restaurants and I'll be there stuffing my face.
I will bring you to all of them. That'll be what we do. That'll be fantastic. I'll tell you what. I don't want this to end. I never want this to end, everyone. I have so much fun hanging with all of you, hanging with the greatest first officer in the fleet. If I missed anyone's review, I'm sorry. Well, definitely, if you could rating, you can send it. Still send it if you want. We got a second, but oh, by the way, again, Mitchum lives in Vegas, dude.
What?
I'd go hang with you. Yeah.
My husband is a master pool player, and we've been involved with billiards for many years, probably close to 3 decades now, for both of us. And so we've been to Vegas quite often.
Nice.
And yeah, definitely I would be into meeting up with everyone in Vegas one of these years for sure. As soon as we're able. It can be a lot of fun if all of your friends are there with you and you're all there celebrating geekdom and nerddom, and it totally changes the entire vibe of a city when all of your friends are there.
Where I'd really love to meet everybody is Mark David the C has it. I would rather go because I can't. I don't like the French Quarter in New Orleans, but then I'm from here. That's who I am. I would bring any friends that want to go there, of course. But what would be mean is to go to that Enterprise set in Ticonderoga for where Shatner went there for his birthday, whatever, and that set there for James Cowley's set that he has there. Yeah, because I've been to Farragut Fest and that was fantastic. So I mean that man. Oh God, that would be just fantastic. But,
we all got to get together here really soon. This is just ridiculous. Happen. But I mean,
CLOBBERIN one day.
But this whole CLOBBERIN. Do you know what I mean? Like CLOBBERIN. That I would be totally into that. We could do that, and there's enough of us. look at us.
Yeah. Oh hell yeah.
There's at least 100 of us. So let's do it.
Let's do it. This has been again, you guys. Raquel makes this such a fantastic time, and we want to thank you all. Make this a fantastic time for us. This this amazing, just incredible chat that we have.
Yeah,
it's just, and anyone who may be listening to this on a rewatching it later now, or on a download as we used to call it, or what have you.
Yeah.
Thank you, and if you are, we really appreciate you doing so. And if you're ever able, though, please pop in live one of these days if you can do it, because it's just, this chat it's just extraordinary.
It's really not a chat. You know what it really is here? It's a community. And Clobby and I just absolutely love it. This chat is bumping with some of the kindest people. And Clobby's right, he's giving you good advice here. If you're listening to this on a podcast or if you're listening to it on a rewatch, we definitely, I want to say the same thing as Clobby. We definitely welcome you here into the live community. And we have the best wrenches and the very best people with the best intentions here. And we'll all have a great time. And we would love to meet you. So I'd like to extend that welcome on behalf of myself and Clobby. Clobby, what a great idea. A great reminder to come on over, knock on the door. We've been waiting for you. Where the kisses are hers and his. Three's Company too.
Oh, the fun we would have, ladies and gentlemen. Well, I'll tell you what, everyone. Before we get moving to say goodbye, so a couple of show notes, or just one show note, really, because let's see this Monday night on CLOBBERIN Times Mark C Comics Talk. It'll be a cartoon, but it's comics related. I'll be talking about one of my all-time favorite things in life next to Star Trek is superheroes, as you well know, in comics and stuff. I'll be talking about the great cartoon Batman the Brave and the Bold, which I love dearly.
Yeah.
And I'm just going to be flying solo, just talking about this thing, I guess. But again, I know not a lot of people, and a lot of you may not be interested in that sort of thing. I don't know how many people even care about this cartoon, but I love it so much. So I'm going to count down my top 25 favorite episodes, top 10 teasers, talk about obscure lore and all kind of other stuff with the show.
Let's put some emphasis on that, because he's always trying to downplay, that he just talks off the top of his head, that he speaks extemporaneously. But the thing is this guy is the great curator. He's the grand poobah librarian of geekdom. And so sitting down and talking with him about any IP that he loves is just such a great time. And he never makes people feel like they're stupid or like they should know that, or he doesn't test you to see what you know. It's really about talking about things that he loves, and getting people to express their love for it at the same time. And I have to say that I enjoy that environment so much. It's so positive, and I learn so much. I learned about the Legion, and I had such a great time. He put a wonderful team of people together. So if you like Batman, and if you know about this IP, this particular IP, or even if you don't, I definitely encourage you to spend some time with the grand poobah librarian of geekdom himself, Captain Clobby.
Oh, you're too kind. Thank you so much. Yeah, I do love this cartoon, and it's just a joy for me. 65 episodes of sheer joy. And I will, Monday night, going to be shooting my mouth off about it, everyone. So, again, we'll say some goodbyes to this wonderful chat. It's tough to say goodbye to you all because I love you so much. You're all so great. But we're going to do it anyway because, hey, I know you got all got things to do. So, some have already left. It doesn't matter whether you're still here or not. You get the shout out because we love you. The great Lord Thoth was here earlier. Our good friend. Again, he was with us. By the way, as Raquel mentioned, this Thursdays is the Global Geek Gang. Wednesday night, I'm going to do an open talk thing like I always do. And Thursday, more Global Geek Gang, I hope. But some schedule changes may change that. I don't know yet. But we'll see. We'll find out about that. But Monday night, for sure, Batman Brave and the Bold. But the great Lord Thoth was with us in our great Legion of Superheroes Roundtable Thursday, as many were. Had a fantastic time.
It was wonderful.
Apollonie's Minion and the puppy.
And the pupper. I hope all of your roadways are clear and safe for you. Travel safely, our wonderful friend, and we will see you next week. And give that little pupper a pet for me.
Apollonie, thanks for being here, my dear. Good to see you. The Felicianos had to take off, Sandra and Raymond, but to get the shout out anyway, they're fantastic. Please, everyone, I will put the link to his book back in there.
Pillars of the streaming community, just a great, romantic, sweet, knowledgeable, kind couple, and they do so much for so many people in the streaming community here. So hail to the Felicianos.
Absolutely. Please, there is a link to the Raymond's book in there. So let's see here. Others, again, the Felicianos, we salute you. Snorta-poopas Cuber.
Snorta-poopas!
I love the way she says that. I always love the way you say that. Oh, by the way, let's see here. There's also another author amongst us, and that is, of course, my wonderful first officer. There's a link to her literary works in the chat.
Very kind of you. Very kind of you.
Nothing to it. You know that. Let's see. Make sure I got up there right. There you go. That's Raquel's work right there, folks. There's a link to that. And let's see here. Okay. The great Phantom Outsider was here tonight.
Yes.
Thank you so much.
So good to see you. Thank you for stopping by.
Canadian Spidey, we appreciate you, buddy.
Steve, you were so good tonight. It's
Yeah.
so funny and so great. And you left for a little while and came back. And it's always good to have you here, Canadian Spider-Man. We enjoy your company immensely.
We appreciate you, great Canadian Spider-Man. Does whatever a Canadian Spider can. He's got to be sick of me saying that by now.
No, he loves it. Of course he loves it. Like, he totally loves it.
My great old friend Steve mentioned, brother. Always
You were
appreciate
so
you, buddy.
funny tonight, Steve. You were hysterical tonight. The razor and it's just ridiculously funny comments. You were on point tonight, sir.
The magnificent wrenches of the great Eric K, my good friend,
Yes.
and really help us so much. As he is, Eric K and Chris Persia are great. By the way, you guys are just so fantastic to me. You guys wrench for all the big guys, but you come hang out with me. You are good friends of this show.
You
and
are.
I love you guys, and I made you. You're even though you, and you're always welcome to join us live, actually. But I made you honorary members of the Global Geek Gang.
Yeah.
And I, and we appreciate you, my friends.
We love you guys so much.
You.
Thank you so much for helping us out and for just creating a wonderful sense of community here, a community building, and for helping us in production and for even helping me to try and track down books and stuff. I just love you guys so much. Thank you, Eric. Thank you, Chris.
You guys rock, man. And they call him Scuba Pete, Scuba Pete. We appreciate you.
Scuba Pete!
I love how she says that. Oh, my goodness. The great Esh Singh, member of a good friend and member of the Global Geek Gang and writer of Eshpix. A great friend of the show. Ash, we love you, buddy.
Love you.
Also, by the way, tomorrow, Ash and my good friend, shout out to Jed, Pop Culture Archivist. I believe you guys are streaming tomorrow. Put that time up there, man.
Jed put in the chat. Love you guys. Jed,
Put
we
your
love you
link
too.
in your time up there, brother.
We love you too, Jed. You're such a kind person. And the last podcast the last streaming I was on with you, you were like raising money for a charity for somebody who had lost their business or their home and just people who had experienced flooding. Jed, you're good people. And all of you out in the chat, stop by the Pop Culture Archivists, I'm sorry. And, that's actually an inside joke and a Freudian slip. Yep, the Pop Culture Archivists. And follow those guys because those guys, they're really, really nice guys.
Jed, Ash, and the great Retro Dickie.
Yep.
Absolutely. JT Kirk, always a pleasure, my friend. Thank you for being
you were
here
great
tonight.
Yeah, he was so funny. He was good ones. He had some zingers.
Liger fan.
Yes.
Was here tonight. Liger fan. Thank you so much.
Excellent comments.
The great Your Muslim Uncle, my
Yes.
friend. I appreciate you. Thank you for being out there. My new friend J-Man. Again, he has a channel. Please find his channel out there. He has a cool stream channel and a cool dude, J-Man. Thank you for being here.
Yeah.
Doug 35. Thank you for being
Doug
here.
35. Your great comments tonight. Chris just asked if Pop Culture Archivist is always on at 11 Arizona time. I love you, Chris.
Yes, indeed. Yes, indeed. Let's see here. I'm sorry. Oh, chat. All right, let's see. Oh, sorry. I was having a little problem. D. Bud Martin, my new friend. Thank you for being here. Fellow comic shop owner. Go for it, Eric.
Great to have you.
Great to have you here, D. Bud. I won't forget anybody, buddy. Steve Mitchell, I'm not going to forget anybody. But D. Bud Martin, thank you so much.
Clubby, I have to interrupt. I'm so sorry. Please excuse me, my captain.
It's all right.
Snortapoopus says, shush, don't tell anyone, but a certain polar bear of my acquaintance has a birthday today. 4:25, so it must be after midnight there.
Oh, yeah.
Snortapoopus, is it your birthday?
Snortapoopus, happy birthday.
Yeah, live long and prosper. Happy birthday.
Absolutely.
You are a marvelous human being and a marvelous polar bear, and I'm so happy you were born.
Happy birthday, my friend. Thank you for being here. We appreciate you. Good new friend of the show, Snortapoopus Cuper. I hope you have a fantastic birthday, my friend.
Yes.
The great Ace Cast Iron was here earlier. Superhero to me and a longtime buddy. Brother, Ace, you don't love you, bud.
And his ratings tonight were so good.
it would never be Clobbering Time ever without the great Mark D with a C. And we thank you, buddy, for all you do. Very good friend. Gotten to know him over the, again, just one of our fantastic friends that has been one of the best buddies of the show for a long time.
And a true friend in real life to everyone who he hangs out with online. What a great guy he is. Smart, funny, does his research. Please find Mark D with a C's YouTube and follow him. He'll never disappoint you. He does his research like I do. He'll tell you about lore, but then he'll go and fact check it. So Mark D with a C, and he is also a very kind and wonderful person. So yeah.
Absolutely, absolutely. And my cousin, my good buddy, member of the family, David Raymond, brother. Always good seeing you, buddy.
You got good DNA there, dude. Really good DNA. Look at who you're related to. You're related to Captain Clobby. I mean, how do you get up every day knowing that you're in the shadow of that greatness? No, I'm kidding. I'm totally kidding.
It's the other way around. He's the one I look up to.
Oh, that's wonderful. I'm just teasing. It was so nice to have you, and it was so nice to meet you, sir. I hope you'll come back again.
Big shout out to someone who just made my night. You all make my night. Don't get me wrong, everyone. But Katie Carr popped in early. I know she had to leave, but Katie Carr, we love you so much, and thank you so much for popping in here tonight. We've been really concerned about you, my dear. So we love you, and we're glad that you're hanging in there, and I hope you will stay in contact with us.
Yes,
come back next week. Zathras is here. Zathras, thank you for being here.
And lay off the brownies, buddy. No, I'm kidding. I'm totally kidding.
And I hope you'll forgive me for my crappy Zathras impression. Phoenix Argus, appreciate you being here.
Yes, great comments tonight.
Of course. And my new friend, Elagabulus. I'm getting that pretty close to getting that one right. Elagabulus, I appreciate you so much. A new friend of the show and a very cool person. We appreciate you so much.
Yeah, and great comments tonight. Thank you so much for participating.
Absolutely. My fantastic friend and fellow Louisianian, it is great to always have you here, my good buddy. Pat S., you are the man, dude. Pat S., get in touch. Well, send me an email or something like that so we can keep in touch some other kind of way, because I don't know if you do the twats or anything like that, but my email is in my description below, buddy, or something like if you could, man, because I want to keep contact with you.
Yeah, we want to keep contact with you. And plus, you need to show us around when we get to your fine city and we eat our way through the entire city.
I know. I mean, I know New Orleans better than most people, but maybe not better than Pat S., though. Probably not.
Well, we'll take you all.
I've lived there, too, but yeah. Pat S. probably knows it better than anybody. So, yeah, buddy, appreciate you. The great toxic man flu was here tonight. Indeed. He only stopped by to say hi, but I always appreciate him. The great Project Story Time. Hey, buddy. Yay. He had to run, but we appreciate him.
Thank you for coming by.
The great Rod Thunderheart.
Yes, Rod Thunderheart.
Appreciate you, man.
And Rod is also an author. He writes romance novels from a male perspective. So if you're on Twitter, please look for Rod Thunderheart and go ahead and click on that URL and check out his work. Also, Esh Singh is currently putting hashtag Eshpic, hashtag release the Esh cut.
There you go. We had another lovely lady stop in that's never been here before, but I've seen her in other chats. The lovely Cynical Lindsay. Lindsay.
Yeah, I hope she'll be back, and I hope she has.
I hope so.
Yeah.
Cynical Lindsay, we'd appreciate you whether you're here or not now, but if you are, we appreciate you. So shout out to you. Thank you so much, my dear. Brad Fisher, thank you for joining us tonight. We appreciate you. I believe a new face that new Cisco Kid. We appreciate you being here tonight. Thank you so much.
Yeah, thank you so much.
A great friend of the show, a great good buddy of mine out here, did pop in for a minute. He's a member of the Global Geek Gang, has a great channel, 32 Flavors, with the great Nick Weiser. A shout out to Nick Weiser.
Yes. I didn't get to see him in the chat because the stupid StreamYard didn't show him. But Nick! Shout out to Nick.
Nick's the man. A new friend. I've seen him in other chats, but I think it's the first time I've seen him here tonight. Dark Shadow Logan. Thank you for popping in, my friend. Great to see you.
And really, again, another person who was like committing to like an adult, like a fully fleshed out adult conversation in the chat. Your additions were excellent. Thank you so much for participating. You really enhanced the stream.
Absolutely. We appreciate you, man. We appreciate you. And another buddy that I think it's the first time I've seen him here, but he's good buds, and I've seen him in a lot of chats, including on my great friend Paulie, Latino Slants channel. Just another red shirt. Good to see you, buddy.
Yeah.
Minimus Prime is probably asleep by now, but shout out to Minimus Prime showed up.
Thank you,
AKA
for coming.
Claude Parrish.
Yeah, he's great.
Steve Ernest, thank you for popping in. So we appreciate you.
Stephen Ernest.
My old buddy Jobber from the old BTR days. Jobber, we love you, bro. Thank you for popping in, Jobber. Just Joe 47, but he's Jobber to me.
Yep.
All right, buddy. In popped in. In was here. Welcome in. Thank you, In, for popping in. We appreciate you. We had a visit from one of a site that I really like a lot. That is a great bunch of guys over there. Echo Base Network poked in for a second. I don't know if they're still with us, but either way, a big shout out. And please go check out there. They have a great channel, especially if you're a Star Wars fan. They're amazing, and they're great guys over there, Nick and Coach. And they do a great stream. They're probably streaming at the same time we did tonight. If you're a Star Wars fan, there you go. So,
Scuba Pete, one day you and I are going to raise a pint together, my friend.
Indeed. Absolutely.
You as well, Brad Fisher. You'll see me again. The second there's anything Star Trek happening in Alberta, I'll be there, and I'll be in cosplay.
Mike Beat was here. Thank you, Mike Beat. And finally, Captain Cockney Spock had popped in tonight. Captain Cockney, we appreciate you popping in, my friend.
Thank you.
Thank you for that. And let's see, Eric K, Mr. Smarty Pants. Clobber Times, D-Bud Martin and Dark Shadow Logan are some of those former nasty comic shop owners that you all have to come to the same place. He's always so mean to me. Bruce Lombardo popping into the last second. Bruce, what's up, buddy? Good to see you, my friend.
Cracks 2 beers from Texas to salute his friends in the chat.
Well, it's always great to see Bruce pop in there, man. Hello, Bruce. Hello, Bruce. All right. Well, we are about to head on out of here, man. This has been fantastic tonight. You've all been great. It's just it's always such a great time, my friends. Again, and so Monday night, Batman, the Brave and the Bold, I will be talking about it. Can't wait. But tomorrow, Ash and Jed and Ash and Retro will be on the Pop Culture Archivist stream. Mm-hmm. Wednesday, I think Jed's having a birthday stream because it was Jed's birthday Wednesday.
Oh, wow.
So we will get the details on that. And I think that is about it, my good friends. Thank you so much. And I cannot thank you all enough for being here. Thank you. And we are going to leave out with our wonderful outro made by my fantastic First Officer Raquel, and with some technical support to get it here by the great Mark D with a C. Everyone, have a fantastic rest of your weekend. I hope to see you back here soon, especially for next Saturday night's Star Trek for 4 more episodes. Good night.